Oh, God. Wow. Wow. Yeah, no, feeling HYROX. Thank you everyone. I'm honoured. Seen, heard, understood. Everyone, everything. Here, still, now, right now. Dear athletes, HYROX is more than just a movement. It's more than just a competition. It's about setting new boundaries for ourselves and living the life that we choose to live. It's about proving what we are capable of and enjoying the community. The fitness race that we can all take part in, no matter what walk of life we are from. Seasoned athletes to complete novices. No matter what obstacles we have to surpass, we are all part of the HYROX family. To all participating athletes in the 2026 PUMA HYROX World Championships, we commend you for your dedication and sacrifice. You have trained relentlessly, pushing your bodies and minds to limits, and now it's time to shine on this grand stage. In the name of all the HYROX athletes and judges, we promise to take part in the 2026 PUMA HYROX World Championships, respecting and abiding by the rules which govern us in the true spirit of sportsmanship. We stand together in solidarity and in equality as one. We are the HYROX community. Thank you.
One more time for Tim Wenisch, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just take a few moments and look up to the big screens. We've got some interaction for you. We have a QR code if you want to get involved. You might recognize that guy. You get that QR code, put in your quote, and join us on the fan wall.
The World Championships are night and day from when I first started.
This is my second World Championships now, so I can go in with a little bit more confidence that I know what to expect.
I know that the other girls want my title and it's my title in the moment. Anyone could just have an amazing day. Like you say, if all the stars align on that day, could be anyone's.
He's taken the win here at the major in Hamburg. The world champion is back. She is the new queen of HYROX. To look at the emotion.
I actually don't believe what we've just seen.
So that 3-minute penalty for Lena there certainly could be costly.
What an incredible time from Kohler.
From its first iteration in Oberhausen, Germany, with 420 people, we arrive in Stockholm, the Strawberry Arena, the national stadium, with 7,500 athletes competing. And tonight we debut with the Elite 15 World Championships. I am delighted to have alongside me Greg Williams, Jane Urbacher, Till Schenk. If you watch the Walk of Nations, you'll be familiar with their faces already. Greg, what we've just experienced, the atmosphere, the vibes, is really bringing everything tonight.
Oh, it really was. The vibes in here at the stadium as well before the ceremony, it was incredible. Everyone's so excited for tonight's racing and to be able to race this weekend as well.
Jane, as someone who is racing this weekend in the age groups, how are the nerves?
I am more excited than nervous, but I am mostly inspired because seeing all those athletes from all around the world has gotten me so excited for all the racing this weekend.
Till, we have had quite a season to get here, but this is the final point, and this is when it all matters for our athletes.
And it really does. You could feel it in the last couple of days. Really, the nerves and everything was there. The motivation was there. Every athlete believes in this field that we're going to see that they can take the title. And I just had this moment when we went down before the Walk of Nations to walk into the venue with the spectators in and everything dark. You feel this is special here. This is something very, very special we'll talk for years about.
We truly will. And before we get going on what's going to be an incredible occasion tonight, we have just a tiny little bit of news to share about next year.
That, my friends, is what it takes to be a champion. This is incredible. He needs to take a moment. At the 60-minute mark, crosses the finish line.
HYROX is a grueling test of strength, stamina, and endurance.
Oh, Greg, chills. We are headed to Hong Kong for the 2027 HYROX World Championships. What are your memories from the major we were there for last year?
My memories are the energy and the excitement that the athletes and the fans bring to the sport. They have so much fun, and we get the photos from all the Asian events. They're just having such a good time, and for the World Championships, they're going to be amazing.
And it's not just that. I say it right now. Make it a vacation. It is amazing. Yes. The location, the hiking, the ocean, the food. You know, it's spectacular. Bring the family and stay a couple of days after the World Championship.
And man, Jane, that APAC community
is insane. APAC is going crazy for HYROX right now, so I can imagine there are going to be so many Aussies, so many Asians, so many New Zealanders signed up, ready to go now.
I mean, get my name on a team sheet somewhere. I might need a whole year to train for it, but hopefully coming back. Look, we have been through iterations of the World Championships from back in 2019, and we are coming into our 7th, and we've had world champions. Imke Salander there, the first ever. Lauren Weeks, she's been world champion 3 times, but Till, it really means something special, doesn't it, to be able to hold that title? It lasts a lifetime.
Oh, it just really lasts a lifetime for sure. You put it 100% right. And I mean, Lauren Weeks, she got 3. She might just make it 4. But the woman tonight to chase is Linda Meier. She might not have had the best season, but she is the world champion, and she is not willing to surrender this title.
She truly isn't. Greg, Linda Meier, her build-up to last year looked somewhat similar to this year, and she pulled it all together when it mattered.
Exactly that. Yeah, she surprised us last year. I don't think anyone was backing her to win, but she pulled it out of the bag when it mattered. She can perform on the day. again, like you said, she hasn't had the season she wants, but can she do it tonight? Quite possibly.
And a little bit of extra motivation, Jane, in a brand new HYROX trophy.
And that trophy is looking absolutely spectacular. We are keen to have a name for that trophy.
Oh, any ideas?
We got to name it after an athlete. That's what you do, like Heisman Trophy.
Greg Williams.
Oh. All right. Shot's been fired.
Look, this is the final moment of a big season. Exactly how do we make it all the way to Stockholm?
The road to Stockholm began across 7 qualifying events around the world. At each major, 3 qualifiers secured their place at the World Championship. At each regional championship, only 1 earned a ticket to Stockholm. Together, those events filled the Elite 15 with the world's best athletes. Now, after a season of racing, the road ends here. Stockholm, the HYROX World Championship.
Let's take a look at who is going to be lining up this evening. From our Hamburg major, Joanna Wietrzyk, Vivian Tafuto and Lauren Weeks secured their place on the start line. Melbourne added Lucy Proctor, Jess Petro and Sinead Bent. From Phoenix, it was Linda Meier, Gabrielle Nakora Baker and Lena Pooters earning their spot amongst the world's best. Then we had the regional races. Morgan Schultz from DC, Sika Arning from Olympia and Calypso Sheridan from Brisbane. And then Warsaw brought Alyssa McElhenney, Emily Darman and Stephanie Oswald to complete the lineup. But there is one woman who all eyes are on going into the World Championships. And Greg, what a season that woman is having.
Unbelievable season. The standard in this sport has grown so much. There's so much competition, but Joanna has been able to get the Grand Slam and majors. She's won all 4 majors that she's raced in, and she holds the world record. It's a brilliant season from her so far.
Jane, you know her intimately well. You've helped coach her. What makes her so special?
Her attention to detail as an athlete is incredible. I loved listening to the commentary in her first ever major. And what you guys were saying when she was approaching each station was you were surprised that she did so well because she was so new to the sport. Now what we see from her is every single station, every single run. I don't think she has any weaknesses.
And if she did have one before, she said she's worked on it. There is a surprise tonight.
Well, she's going for the Golden Slam. Let's hear from the woman herself.
It's kind of just gone so quickly, and I'm here now and I'm like, wow, I've done so much. I really haven't soaked it all in. But when I get messages daily from not only women, girls, men, older people way older than me, and I inspire them to start fitness, to do their first HYROX, to travel for HYROX races. It's honestly so incredible. I never think that I'd be that big of a role model to worldwide people. So yeah, it's pretty cool to think that I can inspire a lot of people around me, and I hope that after my second season, in my seasons to come, that I can inspire so many more and really build a legacy that I already have.
So Joanna coming into her second World Championships, but someone who has 3 World Championship titles to her name. It's going to be her biggest competition till Lauren Weeks has proven that she is up to the task.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's been a 4th impact the entire season, and, you know, with the better end for Joanna so far. But Lauren Weeks, 3 titles. She's an amazing role model as well. She's been a role model to Joanna. She's an incredible athlete, and the one thing she does have is the experience and an even deeper knowledge of her body. And so she knows exactly how to peak for this race. She didn't have to peak the entire season. She is a little more matured, but she knows what to do for this World Championship.
She certainly does. And Greg, if we put them together head to head, it does bring through some really interesting statistics and how they balance their race plans.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Joanna has had the edge on the majority of the stations so far this season. Where it particularly is interesting is on the sleds. Joanna has really been able to open up a gap on Lauren on the sleds, and if Lauren wants to win tonight, then it's there that she really needs to focus, I think. That said, the station after that, the burpees, Lauren averages 3:07 this season. What she did in Warsaw on the burpees was super impressive. She's got the edge on the runs, but I think it's the sleds are critical for her tonight.
And there's one thing to watch out for. When I got here, everybody was talking about, did you see Lauren? She dropped weight, like she dropped so much weight. And I talked to her, she did not drop weight. She got even fitter, she got even more ripped, which we didn't think is possible, but she has not dropped weight. That is something, that's a sign. Watch out for that.
Jane, we have a brand new debutante who set the fastest ever time in Warsaw for someone who's ran their first major, Alyssa McElhenney. You have to be thinking that she could do some damage this weekend.
Absolutely. We have not seen what she is capable of. When she raced in Warsaw, she smiled the entire time. I am going to argue that she has not felt the pain of racing hard yet, so I am scared for what she is capable of.
But she doesn't know either, because she's never run hard and then done the workout. She doesn't know if she can pull it off. It's going to be so exciting for them.
Let's take a little look back at that Warsaw race for Alyssa, because she really set herself in our minds as a real contender for the World Championships, Greg. It's, quite hard to do on debut to suddenly be talking about a podium-level athlete.
Yeah, but back in Warsaw, she had one job to do, and that's to be able to qualify for tonight's race in Stockholm. She hadn't qualified yet. She knew who she had to beat. She didn't have to go out. She didn't have to push super hard early on to try and win the race, because that wasn't her goal. And I think she was within herself on the runs that night. She's done a 2:34 marathon, I believe it is. Her average run pace in Warsaw was slower than what she'd done in that marathon, so I think she's got a lot to give.
And this being her very first World Championships, it does play a part. We've got two women in Sinead Bent and Lucy Proctor who went through exactly the same thing last season as well, Till. It really does add an edge because there's no expectation.
No, but it's definitely there now. I think there might have been a little expectation on Lucy because she was the shooting star of the season, so a lot of eyes were on her. They weren't on Sinead. She really surprised even more at the World Championship. But that time is over. Now it's time to prove yourself. The eyes are on them. They've been 4 and 5. It's going to be a battle.
It truly is. Let's hear from them both. The doubles pairing from the United Kingdom. They're just a little bit of fun, aren't they?
I think we focus on our own race first, don't we? Yeah. And then we focus on doubles. But we're also very different athletes, so we approach the solo differently. To the double.
I think so. I think you have to flip that switch, and I guess I think both of us don't think about the doubles race until the solos is done. I think at the moment the focus is tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then after that it's okay. And I think London was a great lesson and a good example of that. I DNF'd my solo race and I had to pick it up and go again for you and for us the next day. And you have to just put whatever the result is, if it's good, you're just flying and you're excited and happy and that helps it. And if it's bad, you put it behind you.
Greg, looking at Sinead's year and also back on last year, I mean, look at that progression.
Yeah, incredible progression. She's raced 4 Elite 15 races basically and qualified in Barcelona in the last chance qualifier for last year's Worlds. But that progression, starting at 62 minutes in Barcelona, progressing to 56 minutes in Warsaw, everything is trending in the right direction for her.
It truly is. And Jane, Lucy Proctor, again, huge jumps in time.
Absolutely. And yesterday in her interviews, Lucy was talking about what a hit to her confidence it was to get a little bit slower in Hamburg that we see here. But she's become such a mature athlete, and we can see that by how she's fought back in Melbourne and in Warsaw. So I think we can expect something really great from her tonight.
As the athletes are lining up, Till, there's going to be one woman who I think's had a really consistent season. She might say it's a roller coaster, but Vivian Tafuto has to be in that podium conversation.
Oh, she has to be 100%, and I think she's used this season, especially the doubles racing, with Lauren Weeks to become an even stronger individual athlete. And Lauren said it herself, watch out for Vivian Tafuto's run. It is on a new level. We haven't seen that kind of run, so we expect Vivian Tafuto to run with the front, and we know about her strength on the stations.
We have got a field of 15 of the best athletes in the world, and of them, potentially 8, 9 could take a podium, potentially 5 could take the whole thing. That has been a huge beauty of our sport. Through 4 majors, through 3 regionals, we have found the best of the best, and they have descended here at the Strawberry Arena in Stockholm to leave absolutely everything on the line, to be the one who can say that they are the 2026 World Champion.
it's Calypso Sheridan. Representing Australia also, it's Jess Petro. From New Zealand, it's Gabrielle Nicora Baker. From England, it's Lucy Proctor. Representing Germany, Stephanie Oswald. From the Netherlands, give it up for Emily Thomas. From Germany, it's Sika Erling. From the United States of America, Vivian Tabuto. From England, it's Sinead Bates. From Belgium, Luna Putters. From the United States of America, it's Alyssa Morganelli. Also from the United States, it's Lauren Weeks. And from Australia, Joanna Wietrzyk. Our final athlete from Germany, your current reigning 25 world champion, it's Linda Meier.
What is hybrid training? Hybrid training is designed to push every part of you. It's strength, it's endurance, it's recovery. People aren't just focusing on one thing anymore. It's about becoming a balanced athlete. How do you improve endurance while maintaining strength? Should strength and cardio happen in the same session, different times a day? And are you recovering the right way? Hybrid training is simply more complex. On top of that, people have jobs, finances, families, relationships. All of those have an impact on performance, and it's hard to quantify. That is what we set out to solve with Hybrid Charge Energy Intelligence, to capture the cumulative impact of training, recovery, and life. We want to guide people to the right training at the right time, so they can train with more precision, structure, and control.
Welcome everybody to the HYROX World Championship 2026, live here from beautiful Strawberry Arena in Stockholm. My name is Till Schenk, with me in the studio we got the lovely Jane, God, I'm getting so excited about the startlers that I'm seeing, and Greg, of course, and to jump straight into the starters. We got plenty of time to chat later on, but we're seeing the reigning world champion Linda Meier, the rock star of the season, the queen of HYROX right now, Joanna Wietrzyk, the woman called the GOAT, Lauren Weeks, but look at the potential behind Alyssa McElhenney, Sinead Benz, Vivian Tafuto, Seka Arning, who seems to have gotten like everything into place for this race here. How are you guys? I'm out of breath already. How are you feeling? We're moments away from the start here, and just before we get into it, I want to premise everybody out there in the live stream right now, this is going to be a night to remember. This is going to be a race to remember, and I have no doubt this is the kind of race we have never seen before. And I'm just here, and we're about 10 seconds away from the start. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle in. It is time for the World Championship. The Women's Elite is ready to fly. Once the lights turn red, they go off, and here we go. This is the start to the HYROX World Championship 2026, live here from Strawberry Arena in a beautiful Stockholm. And what we're seeing at the front, straight out of the gates, this is the duel everybody has been watching the entire season.
And this is what we have gotten so used to seeing. Lauren Weeks comes out and she is leaving absolutely nothing on the floor from the very beginning.
Yeah, this is what we've come to know and expect. We've speculated in the past about whether Lauren might start a little slower to try and, perform better on the sleds than she's done so far, but that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen tonight, and she's going out really, really fast here, and Joanna's just staying behind her now. And I think Lauren's probably hoping that she can just stretch Joanna a little bit more than she ideally wants to try and fatigue her early on in the race.
Yeah, and Joanna is exactly where she wants to be right now. She is calm, she is cool, and she is in that exact spot we have seen time after time, right on Lauren's shoulder.
So I'm seeing two interesting things right now. Alyssa McElhenney is sitting in fourth and not going with the pace there right now. So we know she can run faster, so apparently she had the race plan, and she is sticking with it. And since we're talking about Alyssa McElhenney, here is my predictions. It is the final predictions. There's one path between Greg and me, so I better nail it. I went in for a little bit of a risk. We got Joanna Wietrzyk in the front just because it would be the story of the year if she takes the win here, and she is the woman to beat this season. But I think Alyssa McElhenney in the end is going to be second ahead of Lauren Weeks.
I must admit too, I nearly put exactly the same. I nearly did, but I've gone with Joanna for the win. She's been brilliant in all the majors so far this season, so I had to go for her for the win. I've gone with Lauren in second place, but it was a toss-up between her and Alyssa McElhenney in second, but I think Lauren can do it. She's experienced at this level, she's looking good so far, and she's progresses throughout the season, so I think she will peak for this World Championship. And then Alyssa McElhenney, super strong potential, fantastic runner. I think she can get third.
This is so exciting what we're seeing in the front here. And Jane, what do you think? Like, to me, it seems like, I feel like the folks for Lauren Weeks would have been to probably try to run even harder and put a dent into that run, in Joanna's run there. But it might have also been the obvious choice that Joanna has seen coming. And right now, there isn't a real gap open enough.
Absolutely, and we have never seen a race go wrong for Joanna since she started. She sticks to her plan. I don't think anything that Lauren can do can upset the balance for Joanna. We know that on every single station she is so consistent. She just needs to survive the burpees that Lauren can throw at her, and then from there I really do believe that Joanna is going to be unbeatable.
One thing's for sure, they did put the hammer down in that first run.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, looking at the ski, like the first station, there's typically not a lot between those two athletes on this station. Like average 4:10 and 4:11 on this station so far this season. So not a lot here. It's the subsequent stations that can be the separator. But some athletes that can typically lose time here on this station against the rest of the field. Lucy Proctor, Morgan Schultz. But at the same time, they know that, they expect that, they're experienced athletes, and they won't panic if that happens again.
I think something that's very important to look at here right now is that we're back on the grid. So athletes have seen that before in the season, but then for a lot of races, they haven't seen that. They were back out on the wider grid. So now they're doing multiple laps. And what we heard from athletes is it is hard on your ankles. It is hard, a lot harder on your run. So the question is also, is this better for tinier athlete? Is it better for taller athletes? Is it better for faster runners or slower runners? Like Emily Dahmen said yesterday in the interview, she thinks she has an advantage because she's not the fastest runner, so she didn't have to slow in the corners. She can take him at speed. Versus a Lauren Weeks or Joanna Wietrzyk, the corners are just too sharp. They have to slow down a little bit. A lot of theories, maybe also a lot of positive self-talk from some of the athletes, but it will be interesting to see what impact the return to the grid has.
And it's not just the grid that I think is going to impact it tonight. The environment in here the energy is electric. It's so inspiring. So what I think we're going to see from the middle of the field tonight is they're going to come out hotter than they usually would because the vibe is just so high. And I think that's going to really push both Lauren and Joanna to go even faster in the beginning. So either it's going to work in their favor and we're going to see a world record, or what we're going to see is we're going to see it all come down to the wobbles, like always.
But look just quickly at the numbers that we're seeing here deeper down in the tableau. You know, Calypso Sheridan, 500 meters, she is definitely catching up. So is Gabrielle Nikora Baker. So a lot of interesting stuff happening here. But let's take a look at that run that we're seeing out there and that we're going to see over and over again on this multi-lap course for the kilometer here. Well, we're going to probably look at it in just a moment's time. So we're going to stay with the ski erg here. And we're seeing really what Greg just said. Joanna Wietrzyk, Lauren Weeks, there isn't a lot between them. Calypso Sheridan, who came in 14th, she is only about 50 meters on the ski erg behind right now. Gabrielle Nikora Baker, very close as well. Stephanie Oswald from Germany with a great ski erg. There's Sika Arning as well. Lena Putters. Now, there is an athlete we talked a lot about 2 seasons ago. Then she had that injury going into Hong Kong, her first ever major. And she's had incredible races flying under the radar, but somehow everybody seems to underestimate her for this race.
Time and time again, we do underestimate her, but she has proven that she is a great racer. She is very, very fast, and she has nothing to lose tonight. She's coming in with a great time. She's got absolutely nothing to lose. So I would love to see that. We've seen her get penalties in the past. I would love to see a super clean race from her, and I would absolutely love to see her in top 5. I really do think that her performance deserves that.
Absolutely, but then again, as I look at these 15 athletes here, and each and every one of them deserves them. The one thing that does worry me just a tiny bit right now is Emily Dahmen. There's no movement in the numbers. So I'm just hoping there isn't an issue with the ski erg or anything. I assume and not, because there she is going strong. And here we go. Your leader is out. Joanna Wietrzyk has taken the lead, but Lauren Weeks is right there with her. And here comes Alyssa McElhenney. Gonna pass Sinead Bend. Vivian DeVito. Here goes Emily Dahmen. And she has said that before. Her ski erg has gotten so amazing. She said, I don't care if I'm 14th or 15th. I will not go hard on this first run because I know I'm amazing at the ski erg.
And I love seeing that maturity of her as a racer. She said that yesterday again, that she doesn't care about that first run. She doesn't mind if she comes in 15th because she has so much confidence in her ski, and that is exactly what we saw just then. And I think that she has a very good head on her for such a young athlete.
And this is a great move for senior right now. Lauren Weeks 2 seconds down out of the workout, but going straight through Joanna Wietrzyk, forcing Joanna Wietrzyk to possibly go harder than she really wants to go on that run right now.
But we're coming into the sleds, and we have seen how much work Lauren is putting in there, but we also know that statistically speaking, Joanna has an edge on those sleds.
And somebody I feel like who's built for this kind of course, the way she runs with slightly shorter steps and everything, and being a very powerful athlete, is Sinead Bend. And I believe we're going to take a quick look at her run.
I am so much fitter and faster than I've ever been, so I'd like to make a move on all of the runs.
Well, so we didn't look at the run, but at her feel about her run, and so on. So Sinead Bend, I mean, sitting down there in that interview with her, she was so full of confidence. She was bubbly as ever, and so on. She's posted a lot of those running sessions on social media and everything. I mean, incredible athlete.
And recently set a 5K PB as well. So I know HYROX isn't 5K. It's not necessarily indicated. indicative of how you're going to perform in HYROX, but having that confidence and boost ahead of a race like this must be like really encouraging for her.
Absolutely. And another thing that must be really encouraging is while we were listening to her, you could see on the left-hand side on the screen in the tableau, Emily Dahlmann moved up 10 positions in the ski erg.
She's interesting, actually. She's one of these athletes that can make a move on station she wouldn't necessarily expect to. Keep an eye on her in the row later on as well. She can gain 10-15 seconds against some athletes on that station and on the farmers carries as well. Like, I know we've spoken to her in the past. She said everyone talks about Sinead's bench farmers carries. Keep an eye on mine because she typically goes faster.
And did you just see that? Did you just see Alyssa McElhenney on the screen? As she was running by, she was smiling. As she did in Warsaw. And when we talked to her before the race, she said, I asked her, like, if you go full gas, if you go all in for the potential world title here, are we still going to see you smile? And she was like, 100%. Absolutely. And there she is right now, sitting in third, pushing real hard and smiling to the crowds.
And the complete opposite right there with Lauren Weeks, who I believe has probably the highest level of pain endurance of anyone in the field right now. She is willing to put herself in the absolute hurt locker from the start to the finish. So maybe she should get on the phone to Alyssa and say, Alyssa, you got to try a little bit harder because you're too happy.
So you can see the average times on the ski there. Emily Dahlmann, the fastest overall, 4:07. That's a couple of seconds faster than we've typically seen her this season. It's a really, really impressive start from her.
And just looking down on the grid from where we are, you could see first and second into the workout. But here comes Alyssa McElhenney and Sinead Benn. She is right there as well. So she has proven that point. Her run is absolutely top-notch right now. She is back. She's been carrying this injury through parts of the season. But obviously she is ready for this World Championship. And she said it before, she is ready for the podium.
We've talked as well about how good a runner Alyssa is, but she has the fastest average sled push coming into this race. So keep an eye on her in this station. It's an important one for her.
It's very interesting watching Lauren on the sled push right now. Something that we see from Sinead Benn is a very fast cadence and mandatory rest breaks. We actually saw Lauren do the exact same thing there. She had less contact time between her foot and the floor, so you'll notice a fast step there, less time under tension, and she is moving that sled really well.
So this is one of the stations where so many things can go wrong, right? You see it a lot. If you need to go low in order to really push the sled and don't push the front into the carpet. But if you go too low, a lot of people struggle with dizziness coming out of the workout. The other thing is it really hurts your legs. It hurts your quads. It hurts your calves and everything. So I'm very excited to see Alyssa McElhenney get out of the station and see her run. Because looking back at her debut race, not too long ago, about 5 months, if at all, she said she could have gone so much faster. She had the second fastest pro debut in history in the women's pro category. And she said she could have gone so much faster, but she felt she really had a heavy sled on the day. And look at how she's moving right next to Sinead right now and how they caught up to Lauren Weeks. I don't think her sled feels heavier today.
Absolutely, and I'm team the sleds are the same, right? They're always heavy. They are very, very heavy. And so I believe that it was a bit more of a shock to the system than Alyssa was expecting. And I believe that the work that she's done now is showing the improvement that we're actually seeing.
Is this demotivating Lauren Weeks right now, what we're seeing? Because it's not her against Joanna. She's used to losing a little bit of ground there. I'm pretty sure they worked on it, that she tries not to lose that kind of ground. But she is now losing ground on Alyssa McElhenney and Sinead Benn early into the race as well. And look at that move from Alyssa right there. And she is going out with the leader. Alyssa McElhenney, the World Championship debutante, is hot on the heels of the queen of the season, of Joanna Wietrzyk.
Absolutely. And the body language from Lauren Weeks right now, she's broken up that last sled lap, I think 4 or 5 times. And I just do not want to see this for her. This is giving 2024 Nice vibes, where this is where she kind of fell back in the field.
And look at who's coming through the screen here. Calypso Sheridan and then Vivian Tafuto. An incredible workout from Calypso Sheridan, an athlete we need to talk about in a moment as well. But Vivian Tafuto, we just know how strong she is at those stations. And we're going to take a closer look at her in a moment here. It's just laser focused. It's just incredible. It's such a joy to see her at the stations. But this is the movement that is just, it is so hard on the legs. And it's incredible how such a slow movement can bring your heart rate so much through the roof.
I honestly believe it is the hardest movement that there is. And to top and tail it with a 1K at the speed these women are running is completely and utterly insane.
It is absolutely incredible. And here we go. Alyssa McElhenney on the left-hand screen. Is she smiling? I think she's smiling.
What I can see, though, is that she is dropping back behind Joanna.
So, and this is the brutal thing here about this grid that we're seeing. Athletes are getting left already. Sika Arning getting left there. We're seeing Jess Petro getting left. Lucy Proctor. This is where you need to keep your head in the game and say, hey, you know what? We've gone through two workouts. This is a very short run. So you got to think in seconds, not in getting left. This is a real mental game down there as well.
You can see the times for the sled push on the screen there. Calypso Sheridan, we touched on this. She came out 2:07. Really, really impressive performance from her. She came into this with a 2:28 average, so she's really excelled there. And then Alyssa McElhenney, 7 seconds behind. Sinead Bent only 7 seconds behind. But yeah, super performance from Calypso Sheridan. Yeah.
And it's very interesting to see that Alyssa McElhenney is staying behind Joanna Wietrzyk right now as they're going past Emily Dahmen. So she is not trying to make that move. She seems very much in control and understanding of her body, of her speed. She doesn't see the need right now to show herself and maybe put some doubts into Joanna Wietrzyk yet. So there's two ways to go about it.
And we heard from her yesterday, she's not just a marathon runner. She has a 2:34 marathon, which is incredible. But historically speaking, she said she's great at 800 meter. She's great at 5K. She's done a lot of power training in the past, which would put her in a very, very good position for a race like this.
100%. And even though we don't know her fastest time, because I don't think she's ever gone for her fastest time, but let's remember, like Joanna Wietrzyk, for example, in her first major in Amsterdam, the next day she ran a 43-kilometer run for sightseeing, for joy. So she, I mean, like, we look at the picture, we know she can run, but like there is a background to the whole thing as well. And Alyssa McElhenney, you know, just gently, like casually second at the World Championship at her debut, finding a little bit of time, waving to the people out there.
And she embodies just happy to be here. Like her energy and her spirit right now is exactly what this sport is about.
I want to see if she makes that move. I really would love to see her make that move and try to get first into that workout. There would be a little bit of a statement. Maybe, you know, throw a little smile at Joanna Wietrzyk as you run past. This is the moment to start the mental games, to start the tactics.
I like what you're thinking right now, but we are coming into the highest skilled station there is. And if anybody is very highly skilled at the station, it's Joanna. And I want to draw attention to the repetitive nature of her technique at this station coming up at the sled pull. She does the exact same thing every single time, and it absolutely works. So get out your notebook, get out your pen, and take notes on what Joanna's about to do.
Well, look at Joanna. We're going to look at Alyssa as well. It's a new situation to her. It's a new situation to us. We've never seen her run this hard in an elite race, in a race. So she's about to find out herself how this harder running impacts her stations, and if it does at all.
And Sinead Bent is right there with them. And this is the Sinead Bent that we saw at the EMEAs. This is the Sinead Bent we want to see tonight.
But who's not there?
Our good friend, Lauren Weeks.
She's coming in right now. She definitely lost a lot of time there right now. It is not unusual for her to lose time at this stage of the race, and we know her. We got her burpees coming up and everything. But this right now, that's a tough deficit.
Yeah, I think she left the sled push 21 seconds behind them, so she dropped 12 seconds against those leaders on the run alone. So I was wondering what that sled push had done to her legs, how she was feeling, because it, like you said, it looked like she struggled on that last length in particular. Dropping 12 seconds is not something we typically see Lauren Weeks do.
And this is something really interesting we've seen here right now. Alyssa McElhenney has seen a yellow card, which means she's got a warning first. She has now seen the yellow card. If she gets another card there, it's going to be very costly.
Yeah, it would be costly. It would be a 15-second penalty, so she needs to be careful now.
And this is what we don't want to see. We do not want to see athletes getting penalised here. We want to see the cleanest race we possibly can. These judges are not even blinking for the next hour.
Yeah, but let's face it, looking ahead briefly at what's going to happen here tonight, we might see a clean race from the women. We know it's not going to happen in the men. I'm just going to say, the season has told that story. It's a different way of racing, and it's not as clean at times.
Absolutely. It's less polite. It's a little bit more aggressive. It's just leave absolutely everything out there. But you'll see the way that these women do this sled. It's strong and it's powerful and it's precise.
By the way, I don't want to be that guy, but you said watch Joanna Wietrzyk do things at the sled pull. I'm saying look at Alyssa doing Joanna things at the sled pull right now.
Well, if I was Alyssa, I would literally be watching the playbacks of the live streams and copying Joanna.
She is actually just a tiny bit ahead right now.
I absolutely can't believe it. I think that I just need to rewind and take back what I said. But I believe in Joanna's skill at this station.
This is incredible what we're seeing here from Alyssa, but one member of the team is having an even closer look.
Cheers, Till. Yeah, what was really interesting, and we know that the athletes do this, as Alyssa was running for her return sled pull to head for her final pull on that station, she looked up at the big screens to establish where the other athletes were around her and how hard she's going to have to push in the final couple of meters here. And you'll see that happening from athletes when they're on their run, but it's rare I see it on the stations.
She's going to know in a second where the athletes are. They're all behind her now, every single one. Alyssa McElhenney, after station number 3, is leading the World Championship in her debut race with a smile on her face, turning Joanna Wietrzyk into the hunter.
Where did Alyssa McElhenney come from? She is unbelievable.
Oh, and a little bit of drama there for Sinead Bent. She did not finish the station, so Calypso Sheridan in the picture here, going past Sinead Bent. It's been just a couple of seconds, but again, you don't want to lose those seconds here. She had to go back and give it another little bit of a pull here. So we're seeing moves being made at the sled pull now. We're seeing things change, unfold in a way we probably have not exactly predicted and expected like that. Alyssa McElhenney leading the race ahead of the 4-time major winner of the season, Joanna Wietrzyk, and then Calypso Sheridan, the woman who does it all, while Lauren Weeks is dropping further and further back in the race right now.
And we know Calypso Sheridan, just before the Brisbane Regional, actually quit her full-time job and has gone full-time as an athlete. And what we are seeing from her tonight is representative of the time that she's put in her training.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. She had a great training stint for modern pentathlon in Egypt, I believe, earlier in the season. And then a couple of Eastern European races under the belt here. So staying active. In between, she goes into the mountain for incredible hikes and everything, as we now see Lucy Proctor and
Lena Putters
coming out of the race here. And I'm we're taking a quick look here at the sled pull from Joanna Wietrzyk. So there you go, little bit of an issue. She dropped her nutrition, the way it looks, in the middle of the lane there, so she lost a few seconds there. You said it is an impeccable technique. It's the same thing over and over again. It's very dialed in. But the interesting thing now is, how is she going to respond to Alyssa McElhenney leading the race? Is she going to push hard and try to close the gap? Right now, Alyssa McElhenney seems to be opening up the gap, and she's still smiling. And the sentence, Alyssa McElhenney is still smiling, I'm going to say that another 10 times today. I do apologize.
I think Jo is going to be fine in this position because she's very, very used to being on the shoulder of Lauren Weeks, who is a stronger runner than her. And what Jo has to do right now is run her own race. She knows that she is going to be stronger in all of the stations. Yes, Alyssa can run, but can she do 100 wall balls at the end of the race unbroken? Because we know Jo can.
But it's still an interesting scenario, because if you look at it, it's not a situation she's used to anymore.
It's true.
No, it's not. And I've got to say, Alyssa McElhenney has gone past us a few times now. I think she's running harder than we've seen her, certainly in this race, and I think in Warsaw as well. She looks like she's opened up her legs a little bit more since leaving those sleds, and she's really extending the gap on Joanna now. She's starting to push hard here.
Look at her flying around that turn there. She is catching back up to Sika Arning for another lap there.
And the pressure on her, Alyssa, is a lot less than somebody like Jo. Jo has gone through the season and she has won every major, but Alyssa doesn't really have anything to lose right now.
Yes and no. I don't think she has entirely has that mindset. Like, I think she's too fierce of a competitor. Like, just looking at the conversation that I had with her straight after setting the second fastest in the debut, you could tell she was kind of happy-ish, but she was also really, really upset because she felt she should have had a better day and should have had the fastest debut.
And she is a fierce competitor. We heard that from her, and she's super confident in her own ability.
So there she goes into the next workout. And this is going to be a fun one to see. Here she goes, just around the grid, and then it's going to be time for workout number 4. I want to say everybody's fan favorite.
The burpees, everybody's fan favorite. I would absolutely love to have an athlete mic'd up at this point in the race. We heard from Emily Darman yesterday in one of the interviews. It was actually hilarious. I asked her what goes through her head, and she was so honest in telling us what is going through her head. She says, why are you here? Why are you doing this? You should just go home. So I would love to know what's going through their head. I genuinely think Sunshine and Rainbows is going through Alyssa's head right now. She's singing a little song. She's having a great time.
And everybody, while we're looking at that, are looking for Morgan Schultz. Unfortunately, she is out of the race, deciding it's not her day here today. She's doing absolutely fine, but decided to pull the plug early in the race here. It did not make any sense to continue the race. So we're down to 14 women in this race. And look at this, Alyssa McElhenney. She is moving quickly and really well and clean through that first lane off the burpees.
Every single rep from her was clean. There was no yellow cards. She did exactly what the rulebook said she needed to do.
And I think she's actually opening up even more of a gap on Joanna Wietrzyk right now.
Where she's gaining speed on Joanna right now is how quick she is to get to the ground. As soon as she steps in, bang, she's straight down to the ground. But you'll notice when Jo does this, she takes a moment while she steps her feet in and then actually kind of moves to the ground a lot slower. Alyssa is straight down to the ground, which means her cadence is ahead of Jo's.
And also Calypso's cadence seems to be a little bit higher in third there. She's coming around the turn now as well. That is not 38 seconds anymore on Joanna Wietrzyk. So we're seeing the gaps opening up. You see it on the left-hand side of the screen there. And this is going to be incredible. Look at that. You see it in the white, bigger square there. So the average burpee time for a HYROX athlete is 5 minutes. Wait until you see the times of our athletes here. So Emily Darman coming into the World Championship as a rookie last year, placing 6th. And we had that conversation before the race with her parents, actually, and we all agreed, because Emily said in the interview, 7th would be fine. I'm like, we're not going backwards. We don't do that, right? So that's 5th place. That is the place she should secure right now. But we've also seen her wall ball entertainment, I want to call it, at some of the races this season here. So still a long fight there because you got Gabrielle Nikora-Baker right there. Lauren Weeks, we never going to write her off. We got Stephanie Oswald from Germany, who's just come back into the season at the beginning of the year, coming off an injury and then racing the race in St. Gallen in Switzerland in a comeback race. And she's progressing through the race usually as well, Greg.
Yeah, I've got to say, the times that they come into this burpee broad jumps is really interesting. Sinead Bent and Calypso Sheridan look like they're moving really well here, but they actually dropped 20 seconds on Alyssa McElhenney and Joanna Wietrzyk on that last run. 20 seconds for runners of the calibre of Sinead Bent and Calypso Sheridan is a huge amount, and I think it just shows how much Alyssa McElhenney and Joanna Wietrzyk pushed that last run. They looked like they went really hard and gained 20 seconds on 3rd and 4th place.
But can we please look and talk about what we're seeing unfold here right now? Alyssa McElhenney has opened the gap significantly on these women behind her. Sinead Bent making incredible moves as well. She's going to put herself into 2nd position. Calypso Sheridan, she is right there with the queen of HYROX of this season, Joanna Wietrzyk. This is a whole new game that we're seeing here today.
And the question is, did Sinead and Calypso move faster than was expected, or is Jo moving slower than expected at this station?
Yeah, that's the big question. She is out now, just about one burpee, but did she just run in the wrong direction there for a second?
We have never seen that from her before.
Unusual mistake from her, so it looks like, she, the pressure is on for Joanna Wietrzyk. The gap has gone up by another 36 seconds. She's got to find some magic out there because I do not see Alyssa back down on that run.
And this is the top 4 that we were not expecting in this order or with this inclusion right now. And this is what makes this sport so exciting. And we did say before that there are at least 15 women out there in the Elite 15 that could win this tonight. And what we are seeing is those top 5, any one of them could win this.
Can I just say, let's not count Lauren Weeks out just yet either. She came into the burpee broad jumps 1 minute and 24 seconds behind. She's closed that to just 1:02. Really impressive performance from her on the burpees, as we've come to expect. But Lauren Weeks just a minute down with 4 stations to go. You can't count her out just yet.
I would never count Lauren Weeks out. I still remember watching her in Nice at those World Champs, and you just can't count her out.
And I just looked at it. I tell you something, as we had a little bit of a situation there, similar to what we've seen from Joanna Wietrzyk before as well, from Alyssa McElhenney. We might see it in the slow motion here. First, we're seeing her incredible burpees. It's exactly what you said, Jane, that it's like this going down. It's like on your feet and straight back down. It saves so much time. So incredible burpees.
And that's what you want to do. You want to be fast to the floor, slow to get up. Working against gravity is going to take
and
more
that's
energy.
The moment, sorry that I meant. She actually drops her nutrition and she knows littering is not allowed. They've got bins along the track. They've been informed by Matt Locke in the athlete's briefing beforehand. So she's smart to waste those 2 seconds, pick it up. She's still got the bottle in her hand actually right now. And you know what? If she can gain another roughly 7 seconds on this run and the next workout, she is actually going to lap Joanna Wietrzyk. What a mental advantage would that be?
That would be huge. That would be something certainly Joanna Wietrzyk hasn't experienced this season. She's been leading early on in all the races this season and like really commanded the races. So to be lapped, that's something she's not experienced.
I'm not sure if we did just see Joanna Wietrzyk in picture actually. No. Gabrielle Nikora Baker, I've just seen the shoes flying out of the pictures there. So Gabrielle Nikora Baker, who's currently sitting in the 7th overall. Lena Putter's making incredible moves at the burpees there as well. Alyssa McElhenney greeting some friends. You know, you got to take the time for it, right?
Absolutely. How many times you were in a stadium in Stockholm called Strawberry Arena? You've got to say hi to your friends when you run past.
And we're going to head into station number 5. Ladies and gentlemen out there on the screen, once again, we are live here at the HYROX World Championship 2026, live from Strawberry Arena in Stockholm. And the World Championship rookie who only raced her first ever HYROX race 5 months ago, Alyssa McElhenney, is leading the race going into the second half of the race.
And isn't this such an exciting demonstration of the future of HYROX right now? There's a lot of conversation about can we go sub 50, etc. Look at the speed on somebody who's just come into the sport. We have not seen anything yet from the population who haven't even come into this sport yet.
And we've got the camera turned towards the entrance of the station there. We're waiting for Joanna Wietrzyk. Sinead Bent is coming in here. Here we go, Sinead Bent coming in a second. So she has dropped Joanna Wietrzyk on this run. What is happening in Stockholm right now? The tables are turned. We are seeing Alyssa McElhenney and Sinead Bent making their moves. And here comes Joanna Wietrzyk coming in third, and then Calypso Sheridan. Greg, they're turning everything upside down when it comes to our bets here. This is an unbelievable race right now, Jane.
It's unbelievable, and it's really exciting to watch. This station is a big separator, and not in time for this station, but in energy conserved for the stations that are coming. And I think this is one of the really interesting things to analyze. If we look at Alyssa's technique there, her seat is traveling all the way into her heels, and what that does in terms of fatigue through your body, it puts so much pressure on your hip flexors and your lower back, which is going to impact the rest of your race. You'll notice that both Calypso and both Joanna don't bring their seat in as far, which actually saves a lot more energy and applies a lot more force.
Yeah, but that's exactly where what's the beautiful thing about that sport is it's not 8 individual workouts. You got to see it as one. You go on social media and everybody's going to tell you what Alyssa's doing is perfect. That's how you row. Yes, if rowing is all you're doing, this is great. But this is HYROX. This ain't rowing.
I love that point. I completely agree. The compounding fatigue of all of the activities together are what means that you row for HYROX rather than rowing for rowing when you come into a race like this. You need to row understanding that you still have to run, you still have to farmer's carry, so that grip is going to be very, very important. You got a lot of lunges to do, and absolutely everyone's favorite, you got 100 wall balls to do.
Looking at the times they're going right now, the split times, Alyssa is going the fastest time right now, still averaging a 1:56. We're seeing a 15-second penalty for Vivian Tafudo confirmed there. We're going to find out what she got this one for and let you know as soon as we do know. Joanna Wietrzyk are going a 1:58. Sinead Bench, she's losing just a little bit of time. But again, this is on the 500 meters, so she's only going to lose about maybe 10, 12 seconds on Joanna Wietrzyk over the 1,000 meters. And she heads a similar lead going into this workout, and she's shown how strong her run is here today.
And can I draw attention to the damper setting chosen by each of these athletes now? We are not seeing anything over a 5, which is really important in terms of how much they can save energy here. The higher the damper is set, the more strokes you need to do to keep the forward momentum, meaning the athlete needs to use more musculature when they do it. We want the damper setting slightly lower so the wheel spins for longer and they get free meters. More return on investment at this station.
I really want to know who Alyssa was just talking to, because I did not see anybody down there. There's no friends and family down there on that grid. Maybe the cameraman, but she is definitely enjoying herself right now. It's a very painful joy, without a doubt. But this is she's got to be riding on such a high wave right now.
And she's not slowing down. She's holding a 1:56 average pace, which is a fantastic time for a 1K outside of HYROX. Inside HYROX, with the speed that she is running, is unbelievable.
I'm going to put Greg in a very difficult position right now to predict what's going to happen in the next couple of workouts here, because this is not the scenario we expected.
I knew you were going to ask that. I was asking myself. I was like, does Alyssa McElhenney have any weaknesses? Is she going to drop a lot of time on any stations? And the truth is, she actually doesn't. She's relatively inexperienced in this sport already, but she doesn't really drop a lot of time. She's got the fastest lunges in this field. She averages 3:30 on the wall ball, so there's not a lot of time to drop. I don't know where it's going to happen. If Joanna Wietrzyk is going to catch up, it's hard to say where it will happen.
And then, of course, you know, we got Sinead Bench sitting in the second there as well. And I'm going to throw it down to the floor to Lauren for Sinead.
Sinead has had such a different season to every single racer on this course. She didn't actually come into the Elite 15 until Melbourne, and that was back in January or December even, because she had such bad injuries and she hadn't getting back to running until maybe even a couple of months ago. When I spoke to her in the media day, she was telling me how she's actually just out there to smile, have fun, enjoy the moment, because the season has not gone to plan. And guess what else isn't going to plan? I think this is absolutely exceeding every single expectation she had for this race, and she is crushing it.
Indeed, still coming out in second here. She maintained a gap on Joanna Wietrzyk there. Joanna is right there, and Joanna's got to take advantage of Sinead right now. She's got to risk something on that run, and she's got to try to use Sinead as that like virtual carrot that she can chase.
So we see on the screen there the head-to-head between McElhenney and Wietrzyk, station by station. And the real separators so far have been on the sled push. McElhenney gained 7 seconds there, and then it felt like after she got through the sled pull, it felt like that run she started to push a little bit harder, opening up her legs a little bit more, pushing a little bit more. I think she'd been within herself up until that point. She gained 6 seconds on that run after the sled pull, and then another 34 seconds on the burpee broad jumps. 34 seconds against Joanna Wietrzyk on the burpee broad jumps is a huge amount, but Joanna is starting to claw back a couple of seconds on the run and subsequent row.
We still got half a handful of workouts left at the race here. We're done and dusted with the row. And you're seeing the tableau switching forth and back. Elena Putters, Lauren Weeks really close together in 5 and 6. Emily Dowman in 7. Gabrielle Nikora Baker dropping down to 9th. Lucy Proctor in 8th right now. And Stephanie Oswald in 10th. This is the race we're seeing right now.
And this is the race we wanted to see. There's 2 minutes separating 1st and 11th right now, and this is what we want to see. We do not want to see big gaps here. We want to see them all on top of each other once we get into those wall balls, so that it's still anybody's race. But Greg, I agree with you. I don't know where Joanna is actually going to make up the time here. Like, Alyssa does not have weaknesses. Unless something goes wrong right now, she's going to be difficult to beat.
The only thing we have learnt from elite races this year is anything can happen at wall balls.
Absolutely anything.
So you can see the running paces coming up on the screen at the moment. So that Alyssa McElhen's current running pace, 3 minutes 34 per kilometre. Joanna Wietrzyk is matching that super fast pace at this stage of the race. And then Calypso Sheridan in 4th place at the moment at 3:51. Lauren Weeks, though, still looking strong at running 3:34 as well. She's matching McElhenney and Wietrzy's pace at the moment.
This is going to be an exciting last third of the race here of this World Championship. I think one thing is coming true once again, which seems to be true for any sport in the world. It doesn't matter how good or bad you are throughout a season. The World Championship is a race, an event of its own, with its own dynamics and its own rules and outcomes.
And if you look at most sport throughout a season, it is all working towards that peak at the end of the season. And what we've seen from Joanna is she has peaked 4 times within this season. Or maybe she hasn't peaked, maybe she hasn't reached her potential, but she's won 4 majors. And so how does that actually impact somebody in a 12-month period to have peaked that many times?
And while Alyssa McElhenney is getting ready for the Farmers Carry here, of course, a lot of eyes are on the reigning world champion, Linda Meier, and you're wondering, why do we not see her on the tableau there right now? She needed a little bit of assistance from what I'm hearing. She is really having a horrendous day here today, but she has decided, as the reigning world champion, it doesn't matter how bad your day is, I'm going to continue, and she's just now finishing the row.
And Alyssa McElhenney is loving the vibes right now in this grid system. What we see in the Farmers Carry is they do almost a full lap of that running grid, not completely a full lap, but she is taking in the energy from the crowd. The crowd are loving having her go right past.
And look at this change after the row now. So Sinead Bent this time around not putting time into Joanna Wietrzyk, but Joanna actually picking up a little bit of time there.
And here Sinead goes. She is off. We know she puts the kettlebells down about 4 to 5 times. However, she still does it in about 1 minute 20 to 1 minute 25. But she's loving the vibes as well. Look at how much fun she's having carrying those big, heavy shopping bags. And that was the first time she put that down. She takes a little moment.
And here's the thing, she does lose significant time doing that. It's quite funny. Like talking to Emily Dahman before the race, she's like, I'm a little bit annoyed with this because every single time I beat her in the Farmers Carry, but everybody's just talking about her.
I love hearing that from Emily. She said it to me again yesterday. She is actually going to be doing the Farmers Carry for Team Netherlands in the relay, and she was like, just so you know, I do them faster than Sinead Bent. So Emily, I'm waiting for you to do it right now. She also said she's not going to put it down in that relay. Not going to put it down once.
Well, Alyssa McElhenney, she has put them down already before, but she is done now. And from behind, you're seeing Joanna Wietrzyk. It looks like she's clear off Sinead Bent right now, if I've seen that right. But the question is, how big is the gap going to be? Here she comes. This is the woman who's won every single major of this season. And so many people have clearly expected her to take the win here at the World Championship as well. She has half the gap in the last 2 workouts on Alyssa McElhenney. Joanna Wietrzyk is on the way back, but is it going to be enough? That is the big question, because, Greg, you mentioned Alyssa's sandbag lunges already.
Yeah, so Alyssa comes into this with a 2:58 average on the lunges. Really impressive performance of her. Joanna Wietrzyk's average is 3:04, so typically Joanna Wietrzyk would lose about 6 seconds on average against McElhenney on this stage.
So how about the wall balls?
Wall balls,
speculating.
Wall balls, Joanna Wietrzyk comes into it with a 5-second average faster. Yeah, so not a lot between them at all.
It is really not a lot between them, which means Joanna Wietrzyk needs to find another gear on that run. She's got to find some magic within her. But with all the races she has won, with getting information on the track, that she's actually getting a lot closer now again, it's got to motivate her so much to risk everything out there. But it also looks to me right now, looking down at the grid, that Alyssa is actually speeding up again a little bit compared to Joanna. It seems to me like the gap is opening up a little more again. We got Sinead Panther 23 seconds down, then Calypso Sheridan with an incredible race here. Lauren Weeks in 5th, and then Lena Putters. Here goes Emily Dahmen, the woman who regularly posts the fastest farmer's carry. She is 7th out. She is not out of contention yet of at least matching last year's 6th place that she had. But look at right behind Lucy Proctor. This is the Lucy Proctor we know, making moves in like the middle half of the race, the middle part.
She made up 4 places at the sled push. So what we saw is she was the last out of the ski, but she made up 4 places in every single station from there. She's made up places, and this is the Lucy Proctor we want to see out there. We want to see that one that fights to the very, very end. I love to see this from Lucy.
And you see how much is on the line, how hard our athletes fighting here, because if you look at it, Greg, I don't think I've seen Emily Dahmen's time be the 4th fastest time only at the farmer's carry in a long time.
I've got to say, Calypso Sheridan, 120 on the farmer's carry. She's really putting into impressive performances on the stations tonight. She didn't come into this race with the fastest averages on anything, but she's looking super strong and put herself into 4th spot at this stage of the race.
And it's great to see, because one thing we know about Calypso is up until very recently, she liked to dabble in a lot of different things. And it's kind of the Joanna we saw around the Amsterdam major time. Calypso was into everything and she didn't really focus on HYROX. But what we've seen from her since the Brisbane Regionals is she has dialed in to her athletics. And so that is what we're seeing in this race tonight from her.
And look at the time as they're coming into the next workout in a moment, as they're coming into the sandbag lunges. Just looking at how they're basically all the time opposite sides of that grid, that run track that we're seeing down there. And it looks like Joanna is losing a couple of seconds there. She is going hard, but Alyssa McElhenney seems to be going even harder in the second last run of this World Championship.
And she just looks so comfortable when she's running. Her shoulders are down, her chest is open, her hips are open. She has got a very light stride. She does not look like she's fully extending herself.
It doesn't matter how this race is going to end for her. I think we've proven the point. She's proven the point. Even when she runs really hard, she's still fantastic at the stations.
Absolutely agree. She's a HYROXer now, that's for sure.
Here she goes, Alyssa McElhenney. A last opportunity that she took to qualify to a major. And then as she delivered at the major in Warsaw, she qualified for the World Championship. And in her debut World Championship, she is currently leading the race. And I believe, Greg, correct me, we've only ever seen 2 women win the World Championship on debut. Imke Salander, because that was the first ever. And then Chris Rugloski in 2022, I believe, did it in her debut World Championship.
Yeah, I think you put me on the spot there, but I think you're right. I think you're right. If I think back, Megan Jacoby, when she won in 2024, she'd raced in the previous year in Nice. Linda Meier won last year. She'd certainly raced in previous World Championships. So yeah, I think you're right.
Because if you look at Megan Jacoby, she got her first title in 2021, but she was on the podium before. And then Lauren Weeks. Megan Jacoby debut in 2023, taking the title in 2024, obviously, and Lauren Weeks winning in 2021 after placing on the podium the year before. So it seems, if we count Imke Salander, in the first year is fairly easy as the first world champion to do that in your debut. But yes, Alyssa McElhenney could be only the 3rd athlete in history, or female athlete, to take the world title in her debut race. And I don't want to take away from anybody. Once you're a world champion, nobody's going to take that away from you. but the sport has changed a lot until now. But Greg, it looks to me right now that she does look a little more uncomfortable at the sandbag lunges than we've seen before.
Yeah, you're right. Those little pauses, a little stumble a few seconds ago there. I wouldn't say she's looking completely comfortable at the moment. It looked like she was comfortable on that last run. Running is her strong point, obviously. She was looking super fast, but she's not stepping through. Another little stumble there.
And Calypso Sheridan, she's just going through this like she's walking. There, look at the cadence. Right-hand corner, yellow shoes. Calypso Sheridan. What a move we're seeing here right now from her.
And side by side, if we look at Calypso's stride length compared to Alyssa's, and the reason Alyssa is stumbling, Calypso has a shorter stride length, and so she's making sure of every single step. What Alyssa is doing is she's taking a longer step, but she's actually losing time because each one is a little bit more wobbly.
And yeah, there is a lot of wobbling right there in the left-hand corner from Alyssa McElhenney, but again, she took another 15 seconds on that run out of Joanna Wietrzyk. But very often, the sandbag lunges are also a first indication for the wall balls. And you know, you can go into the wall balls even with a 40-second gap. We have seen drama over and over and over again at the wall balls. This race is not done yet for Joanna Wietrzyk. The fight for the World Championship is still well alive.
It absolutely is, and we know that Joanna can do those wall balls unbroken.
But here she goes with a smile on her face. Alyssa McElhenney also losing orientation there a little bit, and a little bit of a stumble across the lane there.
And I wonder if her correction of that error is enough.
I think it was. I think she looked at her judge, and I think she got the go-ahead. Don't hold me to that, but I think she double-checked. I think she realised what she'd done and checked.
And it's been made clear also in the athletes briefing that the open lane next to you belongs to you is kind of okay. You just can't cross over into another athlete's lane there. But this is the split screen here. Sinead Bent, she's done now as well. So we're going to see Alyssa McElhenney with a sizable lead over Joanna Wietrzyk, and then Sinead Bent going into that final run. Joanna Wietrzyk actually lost another 3 seconds on the sandbag lunges. So Greg, despite Alyssa looking a little bit wobbly, it's pretty much exactly the gap that you were predicting.
Yeah, it's a good gap that she's got going into the wall balls, like with a strong history at wall balls. 36-second lead. She's likely going to perform well on this run. So I think she'll be feeling really, really good at this stage. She'll be comfortable with a 36-second lead.
And I'm really glad that you're not seeing us in the studio right now, because we're starting to lose it here a little bit right now. This is the final run, and it's going to be the final station in the fight for the World Championship. This is a race that is not a complete surprise. You know, a lot of people knew about Alyssa McElhenney's strength, but that she would take the lead this early in the race and have a real shot at, in a way, dominating the race here right now, ahead of Joanna Wietrzyk, Sinead Bent, and then Calypso Sheridan. This is absolutely incredible, and we might just be, well, we will be witnessing history no matter what. If it's Alyssa McElhenney at the debut, or if Joanna Wietrzyk is finishing the golden season as the first athlete in history, we don't know. Maybe Sinead Bent finds some magic at the wall balls. Grab your popcorn, grab your drinks. We are getting ready after taking another look here at the sandbag lunges from Sinead there. We are getting ready to welcome them down to the final station, to the deciding station. There is one last run left for Alyssa McElhenney.
And this last run is slightly shorter, though we know the wall balls are on the other side to the entry point of the others, so
but
it's a shorter run.
She can't see Joanna Wietrzyk on the straight. She's actually making a move to lap third place Sinead Bent before going into the wall balls. She has opened the gap to about 45 seconds already. It might be 50 coming into the wall balls. This is incredible. We got less than half a lap left for Alyssa McElhenney. One more straight and she's going to make the way into the wall balls at her debut World Championship.
3:12 there from Lucy Proctor on the lunges, performing strongly later in the race, and she's put herself into 7th position with that.
And here she goes. Alyssa McElhenney in her debut World Championship is leading the race into the wall balls with a roughly 50-second lead. which at the cycle speed they have at the wall balls means somewhere in the range between 20 to 25 wall balls, and that is going to be incredibly hard for any athlete out there on this planet to get back from Alyssa McElhenney. She is the woman in the driver's seat right now.
Well, we are actually seeing something very interesting right now. She has done 10 wall balls, 11 wall balls, but 4 of them have been no reps.
And here comes Joanna Wietrzyk. So she has actually taken advantage there. It's only 15 reps until she picks up the ball. Let's go down to Lauren.
15 reps because there were 3 no reps before she hit her first wall ball, but she's definitely found her flow now and is looking very comfortable under that 9 kilo center wall ball weight. 6 kilo, wow.
There on the floor and see if we can see something about the cycle speed. It's the speed per rep right now in average. You can see that between the red and the green arrow on the screen that is also counting down the wall balls. Alyssa is now at 6 no reps. Joanna Wietrzyk has found her rhythm, but she is 16.5 reps down. And Sinead Bent, she has a fast cycle speed as well right now, so it's only about 2.5 reps behind Joanna Wietrzyk. What a race, what a duel we're seeing here at the wall balls. And Alyssa McElhenney, she makes me stop breathing there a little bit. It's 8 no reps right now. We're 40 in, but if she keeps accumulating more, this can be real dangerous.
Guys, I'm not coping at all with this. This is 15 reps, but what I'm looking at right now is Sinead Bent and the cadence on her wall balls right now. None of the athletes can put the ball down.
Absolutely not. You got to go unbroken here. There's absolutely no doubt. Alyssa McElhenney, she is halfway through the wall balls, and she still has a sizable lead on Joanna Wietrzyk with 13 reps right now. She's got to keep it together. She's got to keep it clean, but she has a real shot at taking the world title here in Stockholm. And Sinead Bent is not really backing down in third as well. She still has a shot here at second place as well.
How they are coping with the pressure here, as well as the immense physical fatigue, is just...
But this is also where you got to go right now. Alyssa, it doesn't matter how she's feeling, you got to risk it all.
Your feelings don't matter.
6 than just missing out on that opportunity. And she is 70 reps in. She is still looking strong and really smooth. And she still has a 10-rep lead on Joanna Wietrzyk.
But Joanna has made up 6 reps already, and Sinead is slowing down just slightly, but she's right there,
She's right there. She just got to keep them clean. In a moment, she's only got 20 reps left.
And look at Lauren Weeks. She's come in 5th, no reps, and she is only 6 reps behind Calypso.
With now 15 reps left, this is Alyssa McElhenney's title to take. She's definitely fatiguing, the shoulders are getting tired, but she is only 10 reps left from her maiden world title. What an upset for Joanna Wietrzyk, and what an incredible race by Alyssa McElhenney. We got 5 reps left for her. We are seeing the new world champion on the screen. 99, and here we go, the final move to disbelieve in her face. This is Alyssa McElhenney, your 2026 HYROX World Champion. Wow,
what a race
we just witnessed. But let's not take away from that woman crossing the finish line here. You cannot win them all, but she definitely won the season. She will be remembered for the season, and look, this is the athlete she is, and what a race for Sinead Bent. Taking the podium, beating her number from last year. Sinead Bent, after overcoming an injury early in the season, podiums at the World Championship here in Stockholm.
3.
I mean, correct me, both of you, but all 3 athletes, they're incredible athletes. There is absolutely no doubt, don't correct me. But looking at the reaction at the finish line, it looks like they're just as happy for the other as they are for themselves.
And that was literally exactly what I was going to say. When Joanna crossed the finish line, the first thing she did is acknowledge Alyssa, and her look on her face was like, you are amazing, you did amazing.
And the thing we got to say to that woman standing there on the screen in the background right now, Joanna Wietrzyk, there is absolutely nothing to be disappointed about with this season. You win 4 majors. You come in second at the World Championship. That is as good as it gets, as we're welcoming Calypso Sheridan with her cartwheel across the finish line that we've also seen at the Apex Championship, where she qualified in the doubles.
She should be so proud of that race, and we're going to see her tomorrow night in the doubles. We're also going to see her in the relay racing for Australia.
And after a rough start, really putting a fantastic second half together here, Lauren Weeks coming in 5th on the day, the 3-time world champion, an inspiration for so many athletes around the world, taking 5th on this incredible historic day here in Stockholm.
What unbelievable role models these women are.
And then look at Lucy Proctor. Yes. Past Lena Putos, who has a dramatic 19 no reps already.
And we're seeing a great set of wall balls from Gabrielle Nakora-Baker, all the way from New Zealand right now. She is just ahead of Lena Putters here. Lena Putters has 19 no reps. Oh, those wall balls are cruel.
Absolutely cruel, there's no doubt.
And we love to see these strong women, these strong female role models. We've got mums out there, we've got everything. It's just so good to see.
Absolutely, and like you've touched on, they can be so proud of their performances tonight. Obviously, Alyssa McElhinney taking the win, that is superb from her. Joanna Wietrzyk dug deep throughout that race as well. She gave us a great race. She made it amazing to watch. She could be proud. And then Sinead Bent taking 3rd spot, 4th last year. I think this is her 4th Elite 15 race, and coming back, getting 3rd spot tonight. All of these ladies can be super proud of what they've done.
And every single one, as we see Emily Dahmen across the finish line, she felt so much pressure. She put so much pressure on herself trying to qualify for the World Championship. Now, Lena Putters is across the line as well, but she she delivered the race she needed to qualify for the World Championship. I think we had the numbers mixed up there for Gabrielle Nakora-Baker and Emily Dahmen. And even all the way down to Linda Meier, you come into this race as the reigning world champion. And you have the most horrendous day you can imagine, with what we're seeing, a 3-minute penalty, and yet you say to yourself, I'm the reigning world champion, I'm going to finish this race, I'm going to be all by myself towards the end of my wall balls, but here I am. This is how it's done. This is the great sportsmanship we want to see. As we're looking at our podium here again, Alyssa McElhinney, Joanna Wietrzyk, Jess Petro coming across the line here right now, and of course in 3rd on the podium, Sinead Bent. Congratulations from Joanna Wietrzyk to Jess Petro, Hawks with a Calypso Sheridan. Wow. Stephanie Oswald, another one of those athletes who is just too excited to even be here after overcoming that injury.
And she's a full-time engineer.
That comes on top.
Yes.
You know, I hate it a little bit when people are smarter and faster than me.
And she's so nice and funny. She's great.
She's absolutely amazing.
You'd be getting used to that, right?
Vivian Tefudo waiting out her penalty. She is done now. And Linda Meier is a lonely former world champion down at the wall balls, but a true sportswoman, showing the spirit in the greatest fashion possible. Finishing her wall balls here. She's going to wait down there with the team and then bring it across the finish line. And we're going to get all the details later on. But I would think that possibly the 180 seconds penalty might either be that she was unable to finish a workout. Greg actually does have the information.
Missing a run lap. It was missing a run lap.
Okay. And she definitely had some trouble out there on the course. She needed some attention in between. But she's picking the ball back up.
I love her even more watching this.
This might not have been her season. This might not have been her day. But seeing this, not giving up, that is just really, really inspiring on a day like this. Showing the world that there is so much more to sport and in being an elite athlete than just winning. Even though this hurts, there's no doubt that this hurts right now. But I tell you right now, she will be back.
Absolutely, and it was clear early on in the race it wasn't going to be her day. It was clear, but like you said, she dug deep. She put it in anyway, and she could be proud of what she's done tonight as well.
We're going to wait the time out with her, with Linda Meier. She's getting the applause. She's getting the support from the spectators. She deserves so much. But every single athlete, you guys said it, I'm amazed by every single one. And I wish our viewers could have been around in the last couple of days. And maybe some of them were and saw the athletes in town, saw them in the venue. The inspiration they brought to Stockholm, the positive vibes, the belief in themselves. Every single time I spoke to one of them, I was just like, I need to go train now. I want to be like them. This has been a truly spectacular start into this World Championship in the last couple of days and now as well. But there's one woman on the day who stands out and stands next to Lauren down at the finish line.
Alyssa, you were undeniable, the 2026 HYROX World Champion. That's you. Could you ever even imagined this moment, having only debuted in Warsaw and started racing HYROX in the pros in February?
No, to be honest, the plan today was to kind of run a safe race and make sure we could get podium. Actually, Monday I was unable to walk. I didn't tell anyone. I twisted an ankle coming off a bike. Couldn't walk Monday, was like limping Tuesday, and it was okay today. And like, I think it was what, like, things are supposed to happen for a reason. I think it distracted me and took off some of the nerves and pressure, and it allowed me to run just really like free and thankful today. So I'm like over the moon.
These journeys don't happen alone. Who's helped get you here?
Oh my gosh. My family, my people at home. There's ups and downs, and we've had some downs recently, and I'm just really thankful for all of them. I'm thankful for my team at Adidas. I'm thankful for my agent, my coach, my team at 8th Day Gym. There was like a bunch of them there today, and I saw them every lap, and that just like brought even a bigger smile to my face. The people surrounding me are what make this worth it and what make it like, yeah, joyful. So I'm just so thankful for everybody here.
As someone who's come in from a completely different sport, how is HYROX changing your life?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's allowed me to do what I love to do most in the world for a living. I can't believe I get to say that. Like, it's such a gift, and I will never take it for granted. And just letting me see the world, like come to a place like Stockholm. I wouldn't have been here otherwise. I wouldn't have met all these other women that I get to run with. Yeah, it is such a gift. This sport is such a gift.
Well, you gave us a gift tonight. That was fantastic to watch. A huge congratulations. Now go and enjoy the moment with your friends and family.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody at home. Thank you for watching. Thank you for cheering. You make this whole thing worth it. Thank you.
That was just unbelievable to watch this race from Alyssa McGill. And I didn't want to talk about it in the live stream too much. But she told us in the interview 2 days ago, she mentioned it here, she rolled her ankle. She literally had to limp through town. She couldn't walk. She had no idea if it was going to hold up. And she was like, you know what? It's just an hour of pain and suffering in the worst case, but we got to give this a shot. And a shot, she's given the whole thing. So I want to say, on the day here so far, we promised Alyssa McGill and he delivered.
And did she deliver? She has just changed the sport. She has come along and she has changed the sport. She is not just a runner. She's not just a marathon runner. She's now a world champion.
And looking ahead, Greg, what do you think? I think she just made Joanna Wietrzyk faster.
I think she has, yeah. I think you're right. These women spur each other on. She has been fantastic tonight. And Jane and I were talking yesterday, like, she's got this confidence about her. She had this superstar quality about her yesterday, just around the elite area. She knows what she's capable of. I asked her if she had any doubt. She said no. She's just got, it's not an ego, but there's a real confidence about her, and she's justified that tonight.
And if we're looking at the results here, obviously we've spoken about Alyssa McGill taking the title at 56.59, staying under that 57 mark. Then Joanna Wietrzyk. But if you look down, Lauren Weeks, what a great comeback throughout the race. Lucy Proctor, after the struggles we've seen in London, a fantastic second out of the race. Emily Dahmen, she was just here for the joyride, and she predicted 7th before the race. 7th she comes here. Stephanie Oswald, Sika Arning, we've just seen a brief moment of her. She was in 11th. I don't think she was entirely happy. She expected a little more. Jess Petro possibly as well, and I think Vivian Tafudo as well. But that is the thing about the World Championship. We spoke so much about this leading up into this race. Our problem is we love them so much, we want every single athlete to win, which unfortunately is impossible. But the other thing we just realized, as we're pointing out here, ladies and gentlemen, we got another race coming up, of course, is the fact that not everybody will have a fantastic day on this day, a fantastic race on this day. Not everybody can deliver the way they would on a perfect day. If the man can, we will find out very, very soon, in about 14 minutes, when we get ready for the men's elite race. I hope we're able to catch your breath, bring the heart rate down, and of course, everybody out there, I know you signed the invisible paper that you're staying with us and you're gonna watch the men's race. The boys have teased it already in the press conference, right? I mean, we had the banter, Alex Roncevic, Tim Wenisch, the reigning world champion, Hunter McIntyre, never write him off. We got the dark horses, Dylan Scott, Cole Learn, Hidde Versma, not even a dark horse anymore. Who am I forgetting?
Sean Noble.
James Kelly.
So it is going to be real down there. There is absolutely no doubt. Looking beyond what we've seen from Melissa, what is the thing that impressed you most about what we've just seen?
What impressed me the most is the level of professionalism of these women. Like, they've come out and are absolutely athletes. Every single 15 of them looked like they belonged here. This is a professional sport, and every single one of them has a future in it.
And isn't it the greatest thing? It's like, I feel like this year is different. This year, everything has been elevated. The venue, the experience, the spectators at the Walking of Nations earlier. I mean, they were vibing even before, right? Just coming in here. And so a great start into the World Championship, and obviously the performances, it's getting more and more professional. The sport has arrived.
Yeah, it really has. Like you say, the professionalism of it. Many of these ladies and guys tonight, they're becoming full-time athletes now that were competing in stadiums. The level of production is incredible. So yeah, there's a step up in all areas of the sport that we've seen. And what was really nice as well was that we saw a largely clean race. There were 1 or 2 penalties, obviously, but at that top end of the race, there were no penalties. We saw a good, clean race, really, really strong performances.
We've seen incredible performances. Thank you so much to the two of you. Thank you so much to our viewers out there. Stay tuned, because we got more incredible performances coming up in just a moment. The men's race, we're getting ready for it, 8:25. Make sure to tune in.
Choose everything. Choose cardio, choose strength, choose running, choose gymnastics, and choose to revel in the identity crisis. Choose training blocks, peak weeks, tapering and arguing about programming like it's a philosophy. Choose EMOMs, AMRAPs, WODs, and Metcons. Choose to break PBs on your TTBs. Choose this time to go unbroken, and choose to fear all new turfs. Choose quality nutrition, powerful electrolytes, protein that's tested, and gels that re-energize. Choose RX. Choose Elite 15. Choose solo, doubles or relay. Choose your better and choose to get after it. No resets, no regrets. Choose you.
Of the Elite
Yeah, trying to bring back the title home after 2024.
I'm honored to be world champion. Simple as. I'm not there to make up the numbers.
It bothers me to see all these young guys coming in. I just kind of want to put my boots on and step on them.
My goal is definitely clear, to be back-to-back champion. So yeah, Stockholm, I'm ready.
He's taken the win here at the major in Hamburg. The world champion is back. She is the new queen of HYROX. To look at the emotion.
I actually don't believe what we've just seen.
So that 3-minute penalty for Lena there certainly could be costly.
What an incredible time from Kohler.
A very warm welcome back to the Strawberry Arena, Stockholm, which plays home to the 2026 HYROX World Championships. And we have just witnessed a little bit of history, as in the Women's Elite 15, we had a debutante win her very first World Championship in only her second Elite race. Alongside me, of course, is Greg Williams, Jana Bakker, and Till Schenk. But Greg, you really just don't write stories like this.
No, incredible from Alyssa McElhenney. We knew she was good. Like we predicted her second or third. We didn't quite think she could take the win. That was incredible from her.
I mean, it goes to show, Jane, that the depth that's coming in to the women's field and arguably the men's is kind of like a never-ending cycle. This is this year. What about 2027?
Absolutely. I just believe the limit does not exist.
Mean girls.
I think something really important that we shouldn't forget, though, is like all the women that have been in the sport for so long, or all the athletes, because when it was a new sport, they figured things out for the athletes to come now. They don't have to figure out the same things anymore. Like, the game plan is there now.
I know, it's unbelievable. We are going to park the women until we get to enjoy it all over again tomorrow for the doubles, because our men's Elite 15 competition is coming up imminently. And over the many, many years of this sport, starting in 2019, we have had a number of world champions, and it is the German Lukas Storath. I mean, when you look at that time, it's almost comical at where we are nowadays, isn't it? But he set off the wheels in motion. And Greg, especially in the men's field, apart from the Hunter McIntyre era, shall we call it, we've seen far more turnover of World Championship wins.
Yeah, we have. So since Hunter McIntyre took it in 2023, Alexander Roncevic gave him a great race in 2024 and took the win there. And then since then, Tim Wenisch had a great race again with Hunter McIntyre last year to take the win in Chicago. And now we're coming into this race, and there's a lot of guys that could take the win this year.
There truly is. Jane, Tim Wenisch, what sets him apart?
What a spectacular athlete. Something that sets Tim apart, I actually think, is his sense of humour. I absolutely love the banter he brings to the field. But as an athlete, he just does not give up. And what we've seen at the start of the season, his wall balls weren't as strong. But what we're seeing now is he has worked on those. And I think that we have not seen the best from Tim Wenisch yet.
Another thing not to underestimate is behind the scenes. Tim has built a team around him that he really trusts. It goes to the point where his business partner, Celia Poulsen, a fantastic athlete as well herself, goes like saying, the weather's too bad. You can't train properly. Pick a destination that you like, where it's warm. We're
the
going.
Dream.
And it's a long-term plan. And he said in the interview yesterday when I asked him, are you going to be there for the Olympics in 2032 if the sport comes to be Olympic? And he said, absolutely. So there is a long-term plan.
I do think people forget how young he still is, given how long he has spent in this sport. But there's no better words than the ones from the man himself. Let's hear from him now.
So my goal is always to being chased, because that means that you're at the top level of the sport. So you have the pressure that people want to chase you. And that's definitely my goal, to be the best in the sport. And in my position actually as the current world champion, I am the best in the sport. So I will hold my title. I want to be the back-to-back champion. And I love the pressure, and I'm pretty sure that I will compete very, very good tomorrow.
Greg, if we look at this period of progression that we've seen from Tim, since 2022 Worlds. It tells a pretty formidable story.
Yeah, it really does. He has progressed, and like you just touched on, he is a relatively young athlete. He's one of the younger athletes in this Elite 15 lineup, though he's been here from the start. 61 minutes back in 2022, and then progressed steadily and around 53 minutes recently at the regional in London. We must remember as well, he pulled out of the World Championships 2023 last minute and 2024 last minute. Would he have more World Championships to his name if it weren't for those injuries?
Oh, a question we all would like to ask. Look, what he has proven is that he's capable of multiple stages, and the stages to get us here: 4 majors, 3 regionals, and now this final opportunity. Let's remind ourselves of exactly how this came to be.
The road to Stockholm began across 7 qualifying events around the world. At each major, 3 qualifiers secured their place at the World Championship. At each regional championship, only 1 earned a ticket to Stockholm. Together, those events filled the Elite 15 with the world's best athletes. Now, after a season of racing, the road ends here. Stockholm, the HYROX World Championship.
If we take a little look at who is lining up on tonight's start line, from Hamburg, Alexander Roncevic, Dylan Scott and Hidde Veersma punched their ticket. Melbourne delivered, of course, the man himself, Tim Wenisch, Hunter McIntyre and Charlie Bottrell. Phoenix, it was James Kelly, Rich Ryan and Sean Noble. And then came the regionals. Holden, Thomas Taverdick, Dexter Buchanan earning a spot. And we rounded out the season from Warsaw, where we saw Sebastian Iversen, Louis Osler and Luke Greer completing the field. But amongst all of that, there was one man, Jane, who absolutely dominated.
Alex Roncevic is, we were calling Joanna the queen of HYROX coming into this race. I would have to say that he is the king of HYROX coming into this race. Cool, calm and collected, always strong, always fast. You'd have to say he is the one with the target on his back.
Podium as well at every World Championship. Up until Chicago, he'd podium at every World Championship, and then he's coming here this season, won those majors, taken a world record. What an athlete.
What an athlete. And if we put him head to head with Tim Wenisch, Greg?
Yeah, so it's really interesting this, like station by station, Alexander Roncevic does seem to have the edge, especially on the sleds early on in the race, and then on the burpees as well. He opens up a gap typically against Tim Wenisch. Tim is strong on the row, he's strong on the ergs actually, and also on the run. He's got more of a running background. If Tim wants to beat Alex tonight, I think he needs to do it early on in the race, because Alex finishes so strongly. Those lunges, those wall balls, he typically goes unbroken. Tim Wenisch needs to start early on, eating into Alex's time.
I'm just realizing, like, how can you be that good that you're world champion with the 4 left wall balls, because you're that great at everything else? And looking at the wall balls, Tim Wenisch says he's ready to do them unbroken. We've not seen that before, and that's going to put the other boys into trouble.
I'm just realizing you all look like super cute little referees, ready to go.
We need some red and yellow cards in our pockets.
Look, world records have been a huge part of the season, and Alex Roncevic currently holds that title, but it's been a back and forth till.
Oh, it's been a back and forth. He started it off in Hamburg with this 53.15 we're seeing here. And then the, for us, unexpected world record here from Hidde Veersma in London at the regional in the 52.42. But Alex Roncevic coming back with a vengeance as the first man ever in history to go under 52 minutes.
And of course, our man Hidde Veersma really enjoyed that.
You know, records are meant to be broken. It's the whole point of them. It's about evolving in the sport together as competitors, and I have so much respect for them, and I really hope they will shine there on the course. The sport grows, the standard rises, and suddenly things that felt out of reach become normal.
I mean, Hidde, records are meant to be broken. Like, tomorrow is your chance. Come and try it.
I'm gonna catch them all, including you, Alex.
You can't not love that man, but this is exactly the thing. There is a huge depth to this field, and we've spoken about it before. Potentially 8 people could take a title, but amongst them we haven't spoken about them very much yet. Dylan Scott and James Kelly.
You know, Dylan Scott, James Kelly, Cole Learn, let's not forget him. I mean, you know, he's been the man of the season as well in his own way. He's been really close to world records. This is impossible to predict.
Hunter McIntyre.
Hunter McIntyre. I mean, this has been the hardest wrong predictions so far for Greg.
Right, we are heading straight to the floor to find out who's going to be the next world champion.
From England, make some noise for Charlie Bottrill! From the US of A, three-time HYROX World Champion, Hunter McIntyre! From the US of A, make some noise for Rich Ryan! From Australia, come on, Stockholm, make some noise for James J.K. Kelly! From Canada, make some noise for Cole Ward! From England, come on, Stockholm, let me hear you. It's Luke Greer! From Belgium, make some noise for Louis Osler! From Ireland, put your hands for Sean Noble! From the Czech Republic, make some noise for Thomas Turner! From Denmark, make some noise for Sebastian Iversen! From the Netherlands, let's get loud for Hina Wietrzyk! From the US of A, the Hybrid Raccoon, it's Dylan Scott! From Austria, your 2024 HYROX World Champion, Alexander Roncevic! And from Germany, your reigning HYROX World Champion, Tim Wenisch! Oh, baby, here we go, Stockholm! Are you not entertained?
We're at the finish line in Stockholm. Every single detail has been refined. I'm glad to have the best kit in the game to help me prepare and hopefully help me get on the podium. When it comes to the sled push, really focus on keeping everything flat. That way you're wasting less energy. The main thing on the sled pull is rope management. Make sure it stays to one side like that, loop it and repeat the process. With the farmers, I want to make sure that I've got a good grip, get your hands around and then keep the kettlebells straight as you walk. The sandbag lunges. The tip I learned, train tracks, not tie ropes, keeping your feet shoulder width apart. So if you're on a tie rope, your feet go in front and you're much more unstable. With the wall balls, once you lose control of your breathing, that's when you're going to have to put the ball down. So exhale, and then inhale on the way down. If you can do that for the full 100 reps, you should be golden. Good luck, go smash it, and most importantly, do it with a smile on your face.
Put a smile on our faces. Charlie Botterill said it, and the women's race has done it already. Welcome everybody joining us just now for the HYROX World Championship here live from Strawberry Arena in Stockholm. And Jane Avaka, Greg Williams with me in the studio. My name is Till Schenk, and we're going to jump straight in to the start list. The reigning world champion, Tim Wenisch, but look at the threat coming from behind. Alex Roncevic, the world record holder. Dylan Scott, last year's podium athlete at the World Championship. Hidde Versma, world record holder early in the season. Sebastian Iversen getting better from race after race after race. The old-timer in the race, Thomas Twerdig. We got Sean Noble, the most unpredictable athlete in the race here. You roll down the field, Louis Osseler, who's flying under the radar. Hunter McIntyre, James Kelly, we're seeing in the picture here. You know, we've got Charlie Botterill, we had him a moment ago. Dexter Buchanan just behind Hidde Versma there. This is going to be a wild, wild race. And I mean, the women's, that was, how do they say, hectic in South Africa. Hectic was the women's race, and I think the boys is going to be just as much. In the end, Alyssa McElhenney in the women's race had a fairly strong lead into the wall ball. She did make it exciting with the no reps. I don't think we're going to see the same kind of lead by a single athlete into the wall balls here at the race. We're about 15 seconds away from the race. Hunter McIntyre firing himself up. James Kelly right in the middle of the pack there, but next to him, this is the man to hunt. Tim Wenisch on the start line. Hidde Versma not messing around this time. There was no social media polls. They are getting ready. We're getting the lights started. Let's fire it up for the HYROX Men's Elite World Championship 2026, and off they go here in Stockholm. Alex Roncevic, Tim Wenisch with the sprint out off the gates.
And they are great friends, these two, but they said when they race, they are competitors.
Well, there's a really, really strong chance that we're going to see exactly this in the men's doubles race tomorrow as well.
And something I loved hearing from them yesterday is when they are racing doubles together, they're actually trying to outrun each other.
So, Greg, we were there and also way off in our women's predictions for this final race of the season. And so here are the man. I'm going to go with Tim Wenisch simply for two reasons. Alex Roncevic kind of feels like the safe bet after this season. And Tim Wenisch came to me after a race when he actually beat my prediction and was like, ha, you should have thought better of me. So I'm going with the world champion is defending his title, then Alex Roncevic, and Dylan Scott is going to shine again on the day here and make it onto the podium.
I've got to say, this race is one of the hardest to call that I think we've ever had, but I've gone with the safe bet, Alexander Roncevic, to take the win after his performances so far this season. I think Hunter McIntyre can get second. I deliberated over that a little bit, whether he's going to be all or nothing for the win or nothing, but I've gone with him in second. And then Hidde Versma, I'm really impressed with him this season. His running ability in particular, I think could get him into third place.
You know, and right now the performance of the race for me already is Luke Greer, because it looks like right now he's actually managed to stick to his race plan for longer than 3 seconds.
Well, I actually spoke to Luke yesterday, so Luke's really the strongest runner in this field. I asked him how he's going to approach the race. He said he's going to start out harder than he's ever started out before. So if that's the case, then Roncevic and Wenisch in particular are also starting super hard.
And I'd like to draw attention to Hidde Versma right now. He is looking very aerodynamic out there. He has shaved his entire body, he said. He is looking very clean cut, and I wonder if that's actually going to make him faster around the Strawberry Arena.
Well, I mean, you know what's on the line, right? He's a very fun and entertaining guy. Before the regional in London, he had people vote for what his chest hair should look like and so on. There was none of that before the race here. This is the World Championship right now. And if you're thinking, like, why are they talking about Hidde Versma? He's not even on the screen there right now. Hidde Versma is so strong at the stations, he just doesn't need that kind of run.
And he loves to say, watch me on the sled pull. That is where he makes the move. So that's where we're going to wait for Hidde Versma. But right now, we're already into the skiers.
Sean Noble, Sebastian Iversen, James Kelly coming in here. Everybody really close together. This is a lot closer right now than we've seen in the women's race. Luke Greer still making a little bit of a statement there, trying to be the first into the ski. And very, very different, Jane, what we've just seen. Luke Greer in first and then Alex Roncevic in second. Who does it better?
Alex Roncevic. Like, it's not even a comparison right now. What we're seeing from Alex Roncevic is we're seeing a really strong hip hinge. That's what we want to do when we ski. We want to make sure the hips are the primary mover of those handles. Your hands are just connected to the handles, but you're not actually pulling on them. What we can see from Luke Greer right now is eyes on the floor, shoulders rounded, and his stroke rate is very, very high. But what we know from Luke Greer is his aerobic capacity is ridiculous. So the fatigue he will feel from doing this won't be as much as a normal average racer, but it will still be impactful.
And it's really interesting. You mentioned the aerobic capacity, because this is something we're seeing at, workouts like both ergs in Tim Wenisch as well. A very high repetition rate, but he is very happy with the high heart rate that comes with it.
And what we can see, one of the most important things we want to acknowledge when athletes are using the ergs is, the first question is, what is the context in which they are using them? And the second question is, what type of athlete are they? Tim is a lighter athlete. He has a great aerobic capacity. He wants to stay aerobic when he skis. So a higher stroke rate for him means he is catching the flywheel when it is lighter, when it is still moving, and he can work with that high rep range. You see from Alex Roncevic, he's a more powerful athlete. He has a slightly slower stroke rate, which means he's getting more force per stroke. Different athletes, different approaches, both of them work incredibly well.
So here we got them, the top three next to each other. The man we should not forget right behind is Hunter McIntyre. Right now averaging a 1:43 as well. So mentioned the time of Tim Wenisch. Only Alex Roncevic going just a little bit faster in average pace there with his lower cadence. What about the round effect we're seeing in Luke Greer?
Look, it's absolutely not my favourite thing to see at all in any of the stations, but particularly on the ski. What it is indicative of is that the ski stroke for Luke Greer is all upper body. He is not transferring the power from his hips into the handles. He's using all upper body, comparative to the three men just next to him, Alex Roncevic, Tim Wenisch, Hunter McIntyre. I use all three of them as an example of great skiing. Even though they look slightly different, all three of them get all their power from their hips.
And would you think that's going to impact his sleds?
Absolutely. It's going to massively impact his sled push, the fatigue in that position. It's also impacting how much air he can get into his lungs right now. This is absolutely not a technique that you would want to replicate. But if you look at Alex Roncevic, you look at Tim Wenisch, you look at Hunter McIntyre, all three of them, they're the techniques you want to replicate.
Hunter McIntyre, he's the man to watch for me here right now. Greg, he's put in so much effort, so much training. He's been in the sport for so long, yet he decided, okay, then I'm going to work with a coach if that's what it takes to get even better and so on. He went back to some of the roots in terms of his training that he's done in the early days and so on. He's really, really tried everything to be on top of the game here on the day.
Yeah, he was telling me yesterday, like you said, he's taken on a coach. He's experimented with changing his race weight in the past. It's not always worked out for him. He's focused on running a little bit more in the past. He said he's going back to what he knows. He's been focusing on the strength. He's been really focusing on the station. He wants to be like the athlete that he is. And it'd be interesting to see if that plays off tonight.
But there's another man we've not mentioned so far, Jane. Rich Ryan just running out of the station.
Absolutely, and we cannot underestimate Rich Ryan. He is an absolute fighter. He is a new dad. He has fought his way to this World Championships this year, and he is a great racer.
So you can see the running paces coming up on the screen there. So Alexander Roncevic currently running 2 minutes 55 per kilometre pace. Super, super fast at this stage of the race. Well, that's dropped now. Tim Wenisch there just behind him running a 3:15. Hunter McIntyre at 3:11. Luke Greer 3:06. Peter Wiersma, we've come to know what his pace has been like. That just went from a 3:05 to a 3:15 there. But yeah, really, really fast from all these guys at this stage. James Kelly there, look down there in 11th position, running a 3:03.
And the mover of the workout in the women's, it was Emily Dahm, and here is Dylan Scott, 8 positions.
That was incredible, something that we did not predict at all. And this is just how fast things can change here. In one station, you can move up 8 positions. And a station that, traditionally speaking, you look at both of the ergs, such a small amount of time actually separates 1st and 15th, and he managed to move up 8 stations.
But looking at what we're seeing at the front right now, Alex Roncevic, Tim Wenisch in control of the race with Hunter McIntyre and Luke Greer chasing them. there is a lot of doubles athletes for tomorrow's race right now thinking, can they please destroy each other? Because they're going to be the pairing for tomorrow. And look at their form right now. But look at Hunter Mike McIntyre running even faster. He's chasing the carrot and he's closing the gap.
Interesting station coming up as well. The sled push now. It'd be an interesting indicator as to how Hunter McIntyre's feeling. He told me he wants to go all the sled lanes unbroken. Now, I don't think we've ever seen that in an Elite 15 race. I might be wrong. A little tap there for Tim Wenisch, but
playing games.
Wow.
Hunter McIntyre is playing games. That's why you love the man. Hunter McIntyre, I don't care how this race ends. Hunter McIntyre pre-2025 is back.
Please never retire. Like, we need this personality.
And look, he doesn't even bother leading. It was just a, hey guys, I'm back. I'm here.
To let you know.
The team is back together. Let's go.
Right now, Greg is very happy to kick Luke Greer out and end the race right now. Predictions on point. This is amazing. What a great start into the race. Hunter McIntyre is mixing it up, and boy, does he look more comfortable doing so than we've seen in a very long time.
And what other sport brings men with such different sporting backgrounds together and puts them on a level playing field?
And look at the chat Luke Greer and Hunter McIntyre are having. Luke Greer having a great time, just shaking out his arms. He's like not even bothered to put a running form on right now.
We're just talking about how they're running a 2:55 to a 3:15 pace. They look like they're having a great time.
But everybody, look, it's almost like they're just trotting it out right now into the station. Look at that.
I'm so confused right now. It's like they've formed an alliance, like they're on Survivor or something, and they're not going to vote each other out. I do not. They all just slowed down there, didn't they?
This is certainly like commentating like mountain bike racing. You got 10 laps there, and they let people come back. But what just happened?
They all slowed down, and the rest of the field called them up.
I don't think I've ever seen a thing like that happen.
Neither.
Look at Hunter moving now. Really, really well for that first leg. Alexander Roncevic will know that Hunter's talked about doing these unbroken. He won't want to take too many pauses. He's looking over there. Look, he doesn't want to let him get ahead.
And we've had a little bit of drama there. We're just hearing Sean Noble. Actually, somebody took his sled the way it looked, potentially, and he had to run all the way back down the grid to the second last sled down there in the bright pens you see at the far end of the screen.
And how much does that mess with you? Like, I know I would get very irritated by that, but does that help on a station like this? Because if you push too hard because you're irritated?
Well, it's Sean Noble.
Yeah, Sean Noble.
It's not like he's not used to situations like that.
Totally, he knows how to suffer.
Watch this, Roncevic and Hunter McIntyre matching each other completely, and Alex is just looking over at him every time. He doesn't want to let Hunter McIntyre start ahead. Oh, and there's a first pause for him there. There's a first pause. How much is he hurting?
Everybody is having a good time out there. This is the moment I've been waiting for in this sport. We're bringing a full-blown set of mental games into the racing here. They are enjoying themselves out there. They're having a great time. Tim Wenisch losing a little bit of time there on the sled push, but looking at races we've seen before, I don't think it looks too bad for him right now, Greg.
No, I don't think so. I wondered how his running would look after coming out of that station. Like, they pushed those first few lanes really, really hard, harder than we've seen before. Then took a couple of pauses, but his running looked good coming out of there.
And Sean Noble has just made up, I'm going to say 6 spots, maybe more. He's come all the way from that 14th lane, overtaken whoever stole his sled, and off he goes.
But what a typical Sean Noble move again. Something just had to go wrong for him, right?
Yes, exactly. In nearly every single major, something went wrong for Sean Noble. He needs someone in his ear, and we tell him, we direct him where to go.
We got Charlie Bottrill, Hidden Verisma coming out behind James Kelly. We had Louis Ossola. Now, Louis Ossola, he's one of those sneaky athletes who just He's not braggadocious, he's not loud, he's just there and gets better and better race after race.
Yeah, and you know what else he is? He's very, very good on the sled pull. So for him to be in, was it 5th position coming out the sled push, and he knows he can gain a huge amount of time on the sled pull, that's a really, really good start for him.
Oh, and look at Hunter McIntyre leading the race. He's actually maintaining his gap on Alex Roncevic, if not even increasing by a little bit.
And this is the game he's playing though, right? He is dangling that carrot right now. He's like, can I push these guys to go faster than their game plan right now? And I am controlling the game plan.
This is fantastic racing that we're seeing here right now. Sebastian Iversen and Rich Ryan are the next victims getting lapped here by Hunter McIntyre.
He left the ski erg early. DQ Colern leaving the ski erg early.
Oh my word, you just heard it from our head referee. We got a disqualification for maybe our #1 dark horse. What a drama for Colern in the picture right now. He is frustrated beyond anything good. He knew about his form coming into his race, and in the hectic of the race, he left the ski erg without the ski erg making it to 1,000 meters. What a drama we're seeing at the men's race here at the World Championship. But again, proving the point that we talked about earlier today, the men's races tend to be less clean than the women's races.
And the first time I actually saw that happen was at the regional in Brisbane. We saw somebody do that. Oh, I'm speechless. I'm completely speechless at this level. What a massive disappointment for
I'm
him.
absolutely devastated for Colern, such an amazing athlete who's just lifting athletes, you know, in the Canadian, lifting athletes up in the US market, in the Canadian market. He's there for the other pro athletes. He's there for everybody. He has got this incredible story from coming from living in the streets and homeless shelters to owning his own business and becoming a world-class athlete. And his race is over after the ski erg. But the race is on down there on the track right now, with Hunter McIntyre leading the charge. Then Alex Roncevic. We got Tim Wenisch. And look at the sled push, a 1:39 grade.
1:39, that's very, very fast from him. He came in with a 1:59 average. That was the fastest in this field, so to get 20 seconds on top of that, incredible for him.
And everybody was hoping that Hunter would be back, but nobody knew. Jane, what do we know about Hunter? Lauren, sorry, down on the floor for us. I'm getting all excited here.
Honestly, Hunter McIntyre in yesterday's press conference teased that this might be his final year. We don't know for sure yet, but I just want to speak to the kind of role model he's been in this sport. He was there from very, very early on. He's brought a lot of eyes to this stage. He's such a character. But behind all of that bravado, he really takes young athletes under his wing. He brings them up to his home. They train together. They do all sorts of strategy together. Obviously, you've seen on Instagram Jake Williamson, Josh Van Zeeland. They're all part of Bro Camp. You know, he's just this huge figure, and although there's a lot of back and forth and a bit of fun with his competitors, he's just a huge part of what it has become, and we would be gutted to see him leave the stage next year.
Well, he is an incredible human being, and quite frankly, when I heard that he was teasing his retirement, I was like, instantly, even if he does, he's going to Tom Brady it. He's just going to come back and back and back. It's Hunter McIntyre. He can't even live without this, and we cannot live without Hunter McIntyre. But did you see, while we were talking about it, look at Tim Wenisch. He really put a run lap out there, and he really brought the deficit down. His run is impeccable today.
It absolutely is. And if we draw attention to the sled pull right now, I'd have to say Alex Roncevic. Look, I don't want to play favourites. It might sound like I have a favourite right now. But if we look at Alex Roncevic's sled pull technique, it's so clean. There's minimal touch points between his hands and the rope when he's moving from the back of the box back to the front of the box. So I would definitely say his cadence on this sled pull and his efficiency there is the top of the game.
Well, but Hunter McIntyre is proven right now it doesn't always have to look pretty to be fast. And let's face it, if you're as pretty as Hunter, your technique doesn't have to be pretty.
I mean, if you line up Hunter and Alex in a scale of prettiness,
That is like new age and old school prettiness combined.
That mullet is not my favourite on Hunter McIntyre.
It's coming back. It's coming back. All right, the race on our hands. Hunter McIntyre is leading the race, and he is only losing a few meters so far on that sled pull. Tim Wenisch has to fight right now to make sure the gap does not go back up. Luke Greer in fourth, and then Louis Osler, Charlie Bottrell, Sean Noble, Hidde Versma. Everybody's so close. And look at one man down there. In 10th right now, James Kelly. It is only 47 seconds, and James Kelly's race has not even started yet.
No, we can't even begin to count him out yet. He really struggled in Chicago at the last World Championships on the sled pull, so he obviously won't want to lose too much time here, but we've seen in Phoenix, you can't count him out because his lunges, his wall balls are so impressive. He's typically not only doing those wall balls at the end unbroken, but his cadence is super fast now. So yeah, keep an eye on James Kelly throughout this race.
But if we're predicting the second half of the race, we got an interesting scenario. So Tim Wenisch said in the interview, like in an ideal world, he has a 40-second lead coming out of, I don't know if it was the row or the farmer's carry or something. I think the farmer's carry.
Yeah.
So 40 seconds until the farmer's carry means he now needs to find roughly 55 seconds somewhere. The alternative, Greg, looking at the last stations for those athletes is we need to see Tim Wenisch do unbroken wall balls for the first time.
We do, just to be able to like match those guys really, because we can see Roncevic doing it. Hunter McIntyre has turned it into a strength really. If he had a weakness in his game previously, it might have been the wall balls, but he was able to do those unbroken now more recently. So Tim Wenisch needs to do them unbroken just to match those guys. Just keep an eye there on Louis Osler. I said coming out the sled push, his pull was super strong, and he's clawed back a little bit more time to put himself into full spot. And another really good start as well from Charlie Bottrell. We've not seen the best performances from him in the recent majors, in Warsaw and Phoenix. He was great in Melbourne, but fifth spot at the moment, he'll be pleased with that.
And just because Jane is such a fan of it, we're here got a slow motion shot of Hunter McIntyre's mullet. But kidding aside, I mean, it's just look at how powerful he moves that sled. And you said you were talking about, Alex Roncevic and how clean his technique is. But then the other thing that really matters is, another thing you mentioned earlier in the race, is that every repetition is the same. It's dialed in, it's automatic, and that is something we're seeing in Hunter McIntyre.
Absolutely. It's very clean, it's dialed in, and you cannot deny this man is pure power.
So he was 7 seconds coming out of the workout, and the gap is definitely not going down. And I'm really looking forward to seeing, again, Tim Wenisch. He only lost 3 seconds at that sled pull, so that's really good. What kind of run he can post this time around. Greg, I don't know if you have the numbers yet of Tim Wenisch's run coming into the sled pull.
So coming into the sled pull, Tim Wenisch, he ran a 4:01 coming into the sled pull. He ran a 3:51 for run 2, and then a 2:33 for the first one, which is slightly shorter. But yeah, looking very, very strong. I think he gained 3 or 4 seconds on Roncevic and McIntyre in that previous run.
We're going to look at the time, so it was 7 seconds, but you mentioned Louis Osler a second, and here's the proof in the numbers. A 2:53 fastest sled pull there for him. Oh, and here we go. This is the Hunter McIntyre make it or break it face. We also have seen this scenario before, where the suffering was just a little bit too much, and he just went a little bit too hard.
And that's the question, because many of us would say that the race begins at the rower, and that's not true anymore. The race begins long before the race starts. But for someone like Hunter right now, can he sustain this work rate all the way through?
Yeah, he's just lapping Sebastian Iffers in there right now, so he's absolutely flying. He's going past Thomas Twierdig here in the picture now. On pace for world record. So Hidde Versma said in the interview it's impossible on this course to set a world record. And here goes Hunter McIntyre out of the gates under world record pace.
Yes, he's 10 seconds ahead of world record pace leaving the sled pull. Now, I must admit, it felt a little early to be talking about that, leaving the sled pull, but 10 seconds is a good start. And like Hida Wiersma said, it's not necessarily the course to do it. Remembering Warsaw, it was very, very cold in that venue. It's certainly not as cold here tonight, but yeah, start.
But look at the times now. Look at the gaps. It was 7 seconds for Alex Roncevic coming out. It was 18 for Tim Wenisch, and Tim Wenisch is only 2 seconds behind Alex Roncevic coming in. But I think that Hunter actually opened the gap on them again a little more. And we're now down to one of those very technical stations where every mistake can cost you the race.
And what we do not want to see here is penalties. But I think one of the most interesting things is we haven't seen the entire field together until this race. A lot of them have qualified in different races to each other. And so what I do believe, I know what Hidi's saying about the course, but what I believe is when you put these 15 men in a race together, a world record is absolutely possible.
Well, right now, it would be enough to put these 3 men into a race together, and they could push each other to a world record, despite an incredible effort so far from Louis Asseler, Charlie Bottrell, Luke Greer, still going really strong and really sticking to his race plan at the moment. And we now got Hida Wiersma, Dylan Scott coming in. We got Dexter Buchanan leading them into the workout there. And we had that with Dylan Scott, right? We saw that in Warsaw. He tried the tactic of starting the race slow and finishing incredibly strong. But over a minute into the burpees, seems to me like it's too conservative going into this first half of the race.
Yeah, that is a lot of time for him to have to make up in the latter stage of the race, especially when these guys don't have any obvious weaknesses now. And I talked about how James Kelly can claw back time, but if Dylan's looking to win this race or podium, then that is a big chunk of time he needs to make up.
And then just visible in the picture here, if you look at it, Alex Roncevic is actually losing time on Tim Wenisch. But compare Hunter McIntyre to Alex Roncevic. A much faster movement, as we're seeing a yellow card for Alex Roncevic, a yellow card for Hunter McIntyre. I'm not even sure he saw that one.
It's beginning.
It is beginning now, so they need to be careful. This could be the advantage for Tim Wenisch. And I just wanted to say, this is the cleanest burpees I've seen from Hunter McIntyre in a long time, because there is a huge difference. Look at him as they're going to pass each other. Alex Roncevic with a lot slower. Here we go. A lot slower cadence right now, but longer jumps.
Yes.
Hunter McIntyre going for the short jump, so he's doing more repetitions, but he's not exerting himself as much when he's pushing off for the jump.
He's doing the Sinead bent crawler. Little knee, foot, knee, foot.
Well, it's definitely working for him right now, and something is working for Tim Wenisch as well, because he's gone past Alex Roncevic, and we got the penalty for Hunter McIntyre. The drama is starting in the men's race, the argument with the referee. He's, of course, not happy with that. He gets a red card with just about 2 burpees left. A little bit of confusion there. Oh boy, this is going to fire him up. Here goes Tim Wenisch. He's going to be next out. And his run has been so good. He's running about 5-6 seconds faster. Louis Asseler is going past Alex Roncevic. So is Charlie Bottrell. What is happening at the burpees?
Alex, are you okay?
He did not look very springy coming out of the burpees there.
And one of the questions is, once you see that yellow card, how conservative do you become with those burpees then?
Well, not Hunter McIntyre.
Not conservative enough, it seems.
15 seconds for him, but Louis Asseler also has a 15-second penalty. And this is Tim Wenisch. We're seeing here the slow motion of his burpees. Always taking a quick, sneaky look over to the competition.
And can I just say, the DJ on tonight is nailing it. This music right now, the vibes in the arena are just fantastic, aren't they?
And you know, it's hard to see the penalties, but obviously it is so hard to go fast and then have the feet parallel. I mean, I had the worst, most ridiculous looking last burpee at my race in Berlin because I realized my feet were staggered, so I tried to stop my jump. I couldn't. It looked absolutely hideous, but it's so hard when you're going fast, and I'm not going as fast as them, to always be parallel. So this is Hunter McIntyre behind Rich Ryan, but obviously a lap ahead, but a 15-second penalty, and here is how he got it.
So Hunter McIntyre, red card, overreaching.
Overreaching, look at that. So, Greg.
Yeah, so that's that's the hand placement, really. So you've got 30 centimetres to put your hands in front of your feet. Hunter McIntyre overreached, he put his hands too far forward.
Oh, and look at Rich Ryan's run there right now. That is always a beautiful thing. He's got this old school tiptoey run, very much on the forefoot. He's gone actually a little more midfoot now compared to what we've seen at races like, look at, you know, a year back in Glasgow and so on. So he's changed the running style a little bit, but he always looks incredibly light-footed. And I mean, he's mentioned the pace of an angry Hunter McIntyre right now.
I would definitely not want to be too close to that right there. I think that Hunter McIntyre has an absolute point to prove now, and he's got 15 seconds to make up.
Can I just highlight as well, we were talking about how Dylan Scott's got to start making a move if he wants to get a podium in this race. Well, he's done just that, 2:19 on the burpee broad jumps. Louis Ossolay's penalty, by the way, was for staggered feet, so you were just touching on how difficult that can be. That's cost him 15 seconds there.
And something that's really standing out to me right now is if you look at the gap, like Tim Wenisch, who did faster burpees than Hunter McIntyre and usually has faster runs, is not in the picture yet. So Hunter McIntyre looks like he's really running with some extra fire on top of, like, as if he needed it, but some extra fire after that penalty there for overreaching. He's in the final lap before going into the row. So, your man's leader, Hunter McIntyre, coming into the row. And of course, we're going to take a real close look there at the time that Tim Wenisch and Luke Greer are behind. Luke Greer is back in the front there. What an execution. Charlie Bottrell is right there as well. Louis Ossoler. How close is this fight for the win, for the podium, for the positions at this World Championship going into the second half of the race?
And that move from Luke Greer there just fills me with so much hope on the work that he can do in the coming season on those stations. If he can make up that time on those runs, imagine if he was just a little bit more efficient on all of those stations.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see the times that they had coming into the workout here, because Dylan Scott is in now as well. Alex Roncevic is in here. But it looks to me a little bit like Alex Roncevic actually lost time on this run. I think this might not be the best day for Alex Roncevic. If he cannot get himself back into the podium fight here, you will see a man on a mission tomorrow in the doubles.
And what's really interesting after watching the women's race is times are getting so fast that even though you can claw back in the second half of the race, the way that you used to be able to do that just isn't the same anymore.
Oh, and look at Hunter McIntyre, how much he is putting into every single centimeter of this race, no matter the workout, no matter if he's running out there. Hunter McIntyre is going absolutely full gas.
And he's holding a fantastic pace. It's sub 145 the whole time.
Luke Greer clawed back 12 seconds on that run against Hunter McIntyre, just on that run alone. So he's clearly feeling pretty good. Like 12 seconds, he came into the row just 12 seconds behind as well. So if he can claw that sort of time back on each of the runs, doesn't lose too much on the stations. The wall balls, he does lose a little, but this could be very, very close.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I teased it twice now, you know, talking about like the performance of the race so far is that Luke Greer is sticking to a race plan. The reason behind, for everybody who's not seen it, he told us about this great race plan of going conservatively into the race in Warsaw, and then 3 seconds into the race he just went full throttle on the run, and it did not really pay off in the end. But he's really sticking to this plan here. He's really impressive the way he's racing right now, sitting in second ahead of the reigning world champion. Well, not in the virtual anymore, but coming into the workout here. And then Hunter McIntyre leading the race with a 15-second deficit, and he is gonna put everything out there that he can humanly find in his body to make sure he gets to the wall balls. Well, I would say 15 seconds ahead of Tim Wenisch, but I think he knows he's got the stronger wall balls. It doesn't have to be 15 seconds.
But I just don't think that even matters anymore, because now the Tim Wenisch that we know, he's going to be committed. So you want to get into those wall balls as far ahead of everybody else as humanly possible.
Yep, but the referee also poked the bear. You know, the bolt pony is fired up.
Absolutely. I don't think he's going to be cracking jokes on those laps anymore.
Rule number 79 of HYROX, you shall not poke the bolt pony. He's almost done with the workout here, Hunter McIntyre. This is it, 1,000 meters out of workout number 5. The row's done for him, Tim Wenisch. He's got about 20 meters left, and it's fantastic. You got to go around the workout to get out of it. So he's got a chance to wave Tim Wenisch goodbye here as he's leaving the rock zone. He's stopping there for a quick drink. They had the opportunity to station their own hydration and liquids and food and whatever they wanted on a table just next to the exit there. But look at how close this race is. Tim Wenisch 14 seconds down, so virtually 1 second ahead. Charlie Bottrell only 3 seconds down. Hello, Charlie Bottrell, what is happening?
It's great. I love seeing Charlie Bottrell race like this. This is the Charlie Bottrell that we came to love at the first half of the season.
But did you see the center at the beginning of the show? The thing I was thinking, and correct me, Greg, was he looks so much less bulky and he is always lean, but he had a lot of muscle. But it looks like he lost weight. He looked just a little more slim, yet mega ripped. Is that just me, or could that be what we're seeing going into the World Championship here?
Possibly. I think he felt he had something to prove. I saw him post on his socials that he'd seen no one predicting to win, no one predicting to podium, no one predicting to get in the top 5. So I think he felt he had a point to prove. And I think maybe like the Phoenix Major and the Warsaw Major, I don't think he was feeling his best that day. I saw him after the race in Phoenix, and I think he was feeling ill. So I don't think those results that he's had have been like representative of just how fit this guy is. So he's showing it tonight. He's been peaking for this ever since Melbourne, and he's looking really, really good.
And we're seeing something incredible happen out on the track right now, and it is changing the game plan from Tim Wenisch. He left the workout with 14 seconds down. Now halfway through the run, he's only 6 seconds behind Hunter McIntyre. He can almost smell him right now, and he has to use this plan B that we're seeing right now, because he had a plan A, and let's hear from him what it was.
My plan is to have a solid lead on the row with 200 meters, and it's approximately 40 seconds lead. And in my dreams I can cheer a little bit on the wall balls with my fans to have a confident gap between this first and second place. So I think I don't need to go unbroken.
Well, I have a slight feeling that Sheeran will have to wait until the finish line if he can pull off the victory, because a 200-meter lead on the row turned into a 40-meter deficit on Hunter McIntyre. So the game plan has changed very clearly. Let's see if he's got another great idea in the bag.
And I remember when he was in the penalty box and Hunter beat him, we might just see the reverse of that tonight.
What we're coming up to here as well, farmers carries. In the press conference yesterday, there was a lot of banter between the two of them, but Tim occasionally alluded to Hunter McIntyre breaking a few times on the farmers carry back in Chicago, so trying to get in his head a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at this next station.
But it's also interesting, like Tim Wenisch really closed the gap quickly, but now there's no difference, and Charlie Bottrell is running with Tim Wenisch right now. Charlie Bottrell is having the race of his life, running even, matching the pace there of Luke Greer. This is a fantastic and yet again as I said before, the World Championship just has a different plan for this race compared to everything we've seen in the season.
Their run pace is there on the screen. So Luke Greer's at a 3:25, 3:26 per kilometre at the moment. Charlie Bottrell's largely matching that 3:27. And then the rest of the guys really from somewhere, between 3:30 and 3:40. Super strong from all of them at this stage. But Luke Greer and Charlie Bottrell especially looking good.
And we've just had a very good close-up of Hidde Veersma, and I think we've now got the scientific proof that Hidde Veersma's chest hair is more aerodynamic than a shaven chest. I assume that's why he's losing time right now.
I remember he did an experiment on social media on shirts on or shirts off, which was faster.
But look at that, Tim Wenisch made a move in the final meters of that run. He's really close to Hunter McIntyre, and if he can have a good round of Farmers Carry and Hunter McIntyre actually really does break again, as Tim Wenisch was teasing, then he might be able to take the lead here, but he's got to be careful with the boys coming from behind. Charlie Bottrell, Luke Greer, Louis Osler only 18 seconds down.
18 seconds between first and fifth, but those two penalties are playing such a big role right now.
Can we please, Greg, can we go back to the Wall Balls 2025? The duel we've seen there.
So exciting, wasn't it? That just seconds between it, and then Tim Wenisch teasing us with pauses in his reps that night. So yeah, I think we could see something similar again tonight.
I think Tim Wenisch must be getting really annoyed right now because two things not working out. He's not leading after the road by 200 meters, and Hunter McIntyre ain't breaking.
Well, if Hunter does not want to be predictable, that's
he's
for sure.
He's very clearly not read Tim Wenisch's race manual.
He hasn't put it down.
Just keep an eye on Dylan Scott as well. Ever since we said he's got a lot of time to make up, and that maybe a minute leaving the sled pull was too much, that he's really clawed back some time. He's looking good at the moment. Can he make up some time in the lunges and put himself in the mix?
So very important what we're seeing here right now. We were told by the referees before, and the athletes know that they are allowed to cross the wide line in order to pass another athlete if they're faster and then pull back in. So that would have been allowed. But right now, we've seen I haven't seen the beginning, but if I look at the gaps, every single athlete out of the 5 out there has gone unbroken.
And that's changed the game. Like, that's now what's possible, which is crazy. 232 kilo kettlebells, unbroken, at the speed that they're running.
Here goes the world record holder, Alex Roncevic. He's coming out in 7th, 43 seconds down. Sean Noble, usually one of the fastest men at the Farmers Carry, really looking strong once again. But Hunter McIntyre, 12 seconds ahead of Tim Wenisch. Again, opening the gap just a little bit at the workout. So now, Greg, let's go off the assumption that Tim Wenisch manages to get into the wall balls shoulder to shoulder with Hunter McIntyre. He claims his wall balls can go unbroken now. Maybe not at the same cycle speed as Hunter, and Hunter has a 15-second penalty. This might be just as dramatic and as close as last year.
It really could be. Now, Tim Wenisch, he's come into this in a 4:08 average on wall balls, whereas Hunter McIntyre has done a 3:38, so 30-second difference on average. Now, obviously, that's only averages, and Tim Wenisch, like you said, has been working on the wall balls. Hunter's got that 15-second penalty to contend with as well. So, yeah, I think this is going very close indeed.
And we all know exactly, if Tim manages to pull the rabbit out of the hat here, and defend his title with a couple of seconds ahead of Hunter McIntyre, he's going to sit in that press conference with that smirk on his face again and go like, I knew it. You know, it was the plan.
He is Hunter McIntyre's little brother that's just going to poke and prod him for the next 20 years if he wins tonight.
But instead of breaking at the Farmers Carry, he posted the fastest Farmers Carry split off at the day. But Tim Wenisch, can he pull it off or not? Let's see what Lauren has to say.
What was really interesting about Tim Wenisch coming out of that Farmers Carry is, yes, he's chasing down Hunter McIntyre, but there was a slight change in body language to turning over his shoulder to see the athletes who are catching behind him. Originally Charlie Bottrell, but over the course of the run, Luke Greer is now closing that gap a little bit, and he's hyper-vigilantly aware of that as well.
So much for that. We could just see it run past the studio here. A close look at him. So Luke Greer is on the heels of Tim Wenisch, and he's now at this moment gone past Tim Wenisch, putting himself into second place. showing no respect for the world champion.
I think the only man in this arena that's hurting more than Hunter McIntyre is you right now. The stress coming off you.
I have no idea what gives you the feeling. I'm cool as a cucumber.
It just shows how much is riding on it, not just for the men out there, but for their entire support crew and the whole community. We believe in this sport so much. Like, we want to see them all win right now.
We're seeing a horrendous day for Sebastian Iffersen in the second half. He is suffering through the farmer's carry while everybody else in the race is already back out on the track. Not the day for the Dane, but he will be back for redemption tomorrow in the doubles with his partner, Gustav.
And this is what happens in sport, right? You need it all to come together on one day for less than an hour. And that's incredibly hard.
And can we look at Dylan Scott in sixth there for a second? So the gap is now down to 37 on Hunter McIntyre. And then, so without the penalty, it's actually just round about 22 seconds. And so it's the second half of the race. He knows he's so good at it. He's going to burpee the hell out of this race, Dylan Scott. But here we go. Hunter McIntyre is coming in, but Luke Greer is right there. Tim Wenisch with a little bit of a gap. Charlie Bottrell is behind. And this is the moment where Luke Greer needs to keep his cool, needs to keep his calm, and he might just have a shot at upsetting everybody in the elite and take an unexpected world title. This race is so far from over.
And that's a yellow card there early on for Hunter McIntyre.
Yeah, but that's kind of like calculated in at the sandbag lunges, I have the feeling. It's yellow cards and sandbag lunges is like equals Hunter McIntyre.
So it's for no extension. So it's very early on to get that. You don't want to risk it. Another 15 seconds will be very, very costly.
Well, it's in all fairness, you know, he's an amazing athlete. I love the man. But he's always playing in those gray zones, right? It's always been his style, and every once in a while it just does not pay off. But I'm so impressed by the Hunter McIntyre that we're seeing here. He's bringing the show, he's bringing the drama, he's bringing the excitement to the floor again. And behind him, the boys have to suffer and do things they've never done before in order to get back to Hunter McIntyre. And there is no break-in. Charlie Bottrell is pushing Tim Wenisch, who is pushing Luke Greer. All three trying to get closer to Hunter McIntyre, and Louis Osler still in that mix as well. We're seeing Dylan Scott going through there as well in sandbag lunges. Sorry, and earlier when I said, you know, we're going to see Dylan Scott at the burpees, no, that's a thing of the past. I meant the sandbag lunges. He was looking forward to those.
He was looking forward to those. I love it. And you just said we're going to have to see them do things they have never done before, and that's what we are seeing tonight.
Oh, and this is hurting right now. You see Tim Wenisch there for a second. He's thinking about a quick pause, but he cannot afford the pause. That is the thing.
Just watch Louis Osler there as well. Oh, and there's a 15-second penalty for Hunter McIntyre. Another one.
Penalty number 2. He is allowing Luke Greer, Tim Wenisch, Charlie Bottrell, and Louis Osler, maybe even Dylan Scott, Alex Roncevic, Rich Ryan, to come back into the race here. And this is a Hunter McIntyre right now I really, really like. You can see, I'm not kidding, I'm serious. Like, he's not happy with it, but the man he is, the athlete he is dealing with it. He's not even getting angry at the judge or anything. There's a quick word of, I'm sure, saying, hey, I don't see it this way, and it's back into sandbag lunges.
And he hasn't slowed down. He didn't slow down, he didn't stop.
And I just want to say this about Hunter McIntyre. And what I really like about him here, as you see Tim Wenisch now going past Luke Greer. So quickly, let's jump on that. Luke Greer is just fading a little bit at the sandbag lunges. Tim Wenisch moving really well here, still at the moment in this last lane.
So I was just going to say Louis Osler moving really, really well, but I've just heard that Hunter McIntyre's second red card has been cancelled, so he still only has a 15-second penalty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been cancelled. I'm not sure what happened there, but I've heard it's been ruled out.
So there's drama within the drama. We are seeing Hunter McIntyre with a 15 out of 30-second penalty, leaving the sandbag lunges. We got Tim Wenisch right with him. We seeing Luke Greer losing a couple positions there to Charlie Bottrell and Louis Osler. And the top 5 are a mere 15 seconds apart going on to that final run. And it is a make it or break it scenario right now. Hunter McIntyre is going to push as hard as he possibly can. Tim Wenisch has to come into the wall balls with him and then have the wall balls off his life. As we're seeing Luke Gree here, you can see the suffering in his face. He pushed so long trying to go with the pace of Charlie Botterill and Tim Wenisch. This is going to be exactly the finish we were hoping for. This is a risk it all at the wall ball scenario. It's going to come down to the stamina, the precision, the cycle speed, and the sheer will to overcome fatigue and pain.
And no reps at all.
No reps. Tim Wenisch, he is pushing now. He knows for sure about the 15-second penalty from Hunter McIntyre, but he also knows his wall-balls might just be a little bit slower. And he knows about Louis Osler coming from behind, Charlie Botterill coming from behind. This is going to be a true and real showdown here for the men's world champion title at the HYROX World Championship 2026, live from Stockholm. Again, Greg, we talked about this. 330 average for the wall balls for Hunter McIntyre, 411. This is still Hunter McIntyre's race to win unless Tim Wenisch follows through on his prediction that he can go unbroken.
Yeah, he would have been working on an awful lot. Like we said, there's a head-to-head there between Luke Gree and Tim Wenisch, how they stuck up against each other on the stations. And as we've come to expect, it's on the runs where Luke Gree is really gaining some time against him. But Tim is clawing it back on the stations, on the sleds in particular. He gained 13 seconds over Luke Gree on the sled push and then more on that sled pull. But it just gives an idea of just how good at running Luke Gree is with those times that he's putting in there.
The question is history going to repeat itself, or is Hunter McIntyre going to strike back at the wall balls this time around? One thing we know for sure, it is going to be a duel down to a wire once again for the title of the HYROX World Champion. We're on the last and final run, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not excited, I don't know what could possibly excite you in this sports. Tim Wenisch and Hunter McIntyre, they're making the right-hand turn. Here they come, the reigning world champion and the former world champion into the walls. And there's Charlie Botterill in third. Look at Charlie Botterill.
And we cannot count Charlie out right now. We know Hunter's got the fastest wall balls here with the 15-second penalty. And Charlie is right there with Tim.
It's coming down to precision, and we're seeing 2 no reps from Hunter McIntyre. This is all going into the back for Tim Wenisch, but Charlie Botterill, Louis Osler, Luke Gree. I mean, this is ridiculous.
If this is the time to go unbroken, Tim Wenisch, if you can hear me.
I want to say it like the Welsh do. Are you having a donkey? This is unbelievable what we're seeing here right now.
We couldn't have written a better script on how
Does
to
Tim Wenisch really, can he really pull it off with game plan B?
And look at Charlie Botterill.
Look at Charlie Botterill. This is really coming down. Louis Osler, he got a 15-second penalty. Right now, the biggest challenger for Tim Wenisch is actually Charlie Botterill. It's not Hunter McIntyre. It's not Dylan Scott. It's not Alex Roncevic. It is Charlie Botterill.
And look at your man, Dylan Scott, where he's sitting right now.
21 reps, Tim Wenisch. So he's gone unbroken here at this stage.
And we have 3 men neck in neck for second
and Hunter
position
McIntyre is breaking before Tim Wenisch. This is incredible. This is something we've not seen like this before. But the thing is, for Tim Wenisch, this is going to be a lot harder than before because he has to focus on more than one person. He cannot rely that the guys from behind aren't catching up to him, like Dylan Scott right now, who is making a move, trying to put himself into second here. right now.
Absolutely. Wenisch is not racing just Hunter. He is racing the top 6 who are right there with him.
I just don't know who to root for. We've seen Tim Wenisch break for the first time after 60, but he is in the lead of the race right now. He's really good at the calculated breaks. Please don't do those 3 breaks in the last 10 reps again.
Yeah, please don't.
And he's getting a couple of no reps there, and Dylan Scott is at 54 now already. He has gone past Charlie Botterill. Tim Wenisch is now collecting no reps there. He needs to be careful. This Dylan Scott is not out of contention. And this is what I mean. He might not even be aware of Dylan Scott and where Dylan Scott is right now.
I'm going to argue that he is not aware at all. I think he thinks he is racing Hunter,
dropping the ball
and
again.
he's racing Charlie.
And what we've seen before, when Tim Wenisch dropped the ball, he struggled to get back into the rhythm. He no-repped a couple of times. And we also know this is the stage of the race at the wall balls where he tends to drop the ball more often than before. He does it again. Dylan Scott is now only 5 reps behind Tim Wenisch. Is this going to be the upset of the race here? Can Dylan Scott actually take the win from Tim Wenisch? Tim Wenisch focused on Hunter McIntyre. Dylan Scott is making his move. He is only 3 reps behind Tim Wenisch, and I don't know if Tim Wenisch is aware of this. Dylan Scott. Tim Wenisch is going to be aware of the situation. With the race announcement on the floor, he's dropping the ball again. He has dropped the ball again. Dylan Scott has caught up to Tim Wenisch. He's only 1 rep behind. Tim Wenisch has to go through. He cannot afford another no rep or another drop. It is 95 to 95. Oh. This is going to be a sprint to the finish line. Dylan Scott with faster cycle speed. It is Dylan Scott. It is Tim Wenisch. Tim Wenisch's last wall ball does not count. It does not count. Oh my word. What is the drama we're seeing here right now? Is he called back or not? I have no idea what happened. The only thing I know, Dylan Scott, the man from Scottsdale, after being 3rd the year before, he is your world champion. Dylan Scott is the 2026 HYROX World Champion, the fastest HYROX athlete of the world. And Tim Wenisch is still standing there at 99 reps. This, we're gonna wait to find out what the situation is there. But Dylan Scott pulled the rabbit out of the hat and is your 2026 world champion.
Wow.
Brilliant from Dylan. Absolutely brilliant. We counted him out. When was that after the sled pull?
Yeah.
Minute behind, over a minute behind. We said it probably too much in a field of this caliber when there were no weaknesses at the end. And he just clawed back time on station after station, run after run, then put in the wall ball performance of his life. Unbelievable from him. And I believe, just touching on Tim Wenisch there, 99 reps. It's 15-second penalty for every missed rep at the end of the wall ball station. So that will be a 15-second penalty for him there added to his time.
Thank you for clarifying that. So he will be finished that 100 wall balls just with the 15-second penalty.
Yeah, so I need to double check his final finishing position, but he looked like he was going to cross the line in second anyway, but there'll be 15 seconds added to that.
One of the things we predicted before the race is that this is going to be the most brutal showdown we've ever seen at the wall balls. I personally am a little bit upset with Dylan Scott because I asked him in the interview, do I put you on 1? Are you ready for the world title? And he said, podium, yes. Everything else, let's see. Men.
I think he's just as surprised as you.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. At the end of the day, it's coming down to the 8 no reps from Tim Wenisch that cost him the world title, as we got Dexter Buchanan coming across the line here as well. Sean Noble finishing his world championship race. James Kelly not having the second half of the race that we did expect. And Greg, have you gotten any official confirmation of the positions we might be looking at here?
So I think it's Dylan Scott in first place. Louis Ossola, fantastic race from him. He got 15-second penalty. I think he finished in second, then Tim Wenisch ultimately finished in third. Charlie Bottrell in fourth, and then Hunter McIntyre in fifth.
Oh my word, it is confirmed. So, we got Dylan Scott as the world champion. We got Louis Ossola, the quiet dark horse, sneaking into second place, past Tim Wenisch, who delivered a dramatic finish at the wall balls to come third after taking the world title last year.
Second for Louis Ossola, that is brilliant from him. He was actually an age group world champion in Las Vegas back in 2022. That was only his second ever HYROX race, and then we didn't see him in the elites until this season. He came and raced in Phoenix, did okay. It wasn't like he qualified for this race. He qualified in Warsaw in the most recent major, and then he's put in a performance of his life tonight to finish second. Unbelievable from him.
Unbelievable. And with a 15-second penalty.
Yeah.
So much penalty drama throughout the race, all the way until the end. Incredible racing, and Dylan Scott sitting there all by himself right now at the finish line, just letting it sit in what happened.
Yeah, so there are two leaderboard updates occurring. Tim Wenisch will incur 15-second penalty for leaving on 99 wall balls, and Charlie Bottrell is getting 7 seconds back, faulty equipment from the camera.
All right, so you hear it. There's movement and shuffling around at the wall balls right now. There is the 15-second penalty. Tim Wenisch arguing with Matt Locke, the head referee, right now. A 15-second penalty for not having the last wall ball up on the board. So the rule here is very clear, right? You gotta wait until the screen turns green. Otherwise, you're not going. Turns green and it says go. And if that isn't up there, you're too soon. You're too early, no matter if you think you hit it or not. The other thing we heard from Matt Locke is Charlie Bottrell actually gets a 7-second credit for faulty equipment. So he probably had about 2 or 3 reps that were not counted by the board. Leave the drama to HYROX Racing. Especially to the man out here. What a duel we're seeing there. What a race from the both of them, from Louis Ossola as well. It's been an inspirational 2 days with those athletes going into the race here, and they did not disappoint a little bit throughout the race here today, Jane.
Not even a little bit. That would have to have been one of the most exciting races of all time.
Sebastian Iversen having a tough day, the man from Denmark. But if we've seen one thing in HYROX racing, let's go back to London. You know, Lucy Proctor having to drop out of the individuals race and put together an incredible doubles race with her partner Sinead Bent the next day. So Gustav Cordua, Sebastian Iversen's double partner, he's going to make sure he's ready for tomorrow. He's mentally ready. He's going to send them some nice positive messages and get them ready, because they are definitely some of the dark horses for tomorrow's doubles racing as well. Which is a little teaser for what's coming up, of course, tomorrow. Once we're done with the racing for today, at least on the floor, we're going to go into a quick analysis after that. We're obviously going to see more racing tomorrow on Friday, and then the relays on Sunday as well.
We've only just begun.
Hidde Versma, the man who got the world record in January in London, then lost it to Alex Roncevic at the major in Warsaw. Having a good day, just not good enough for what happened here. And, you know, Hunter McIntyre might not have had the finish that he was hoping for, but Hunter McIntyre made this race.
He absolutely did.
He did. He did. Like these guys know they have to attack early on. They can't let Hunter McIntyre open a gap. He's on everyone's mind in this race, and he does make the race. He done it back in 2024 when that man there, Alexander Roncevic, won the world title. He made it because they knew they had to race him, and that was a fantastic race tonight, and it was a fantastic race that night.
Something that makes me really happy is seeing Greg tonight do the math on points, because I did at least have Dylan Scott in my top 3. You did not. That's got to give me something, right?
Yeah, that hurts.
And speaking of Dylan, your 2026 HYROX World Champion is down there on the microphone with Lauren.
Dylan, it gives me such great pleasure to tell you that you are the 2026 HYROX World Champion. Can you even believe it?
Not yet. I don't know how I came back. I was so dead in the water. I thought at sled pull. I think I was last. I came out of the push last. And I was hurt, but I was like, I'm not that far behind. Like I'm 45 seconds. A lot can happen. And I got through the pull, and I was like, maybe I'm coming back, and I hit the burpees, and I'm like, maybe I can go top 5. I'm making it. And then all of a sudden, I just heard like penalty here, penalty here. And I was like, oh my God, this works out. Maybe I'm 4th. And then we get to the wall balls, and I felt good, and I was like, I'm going unbroken. And I didn't think I was catching Tim. I really didn't. I thought he had me. And I heard Hunter come back, and I heard Charlie come back, and I saw Luke come back, and I knew Louis had a penalty, and I was like, and then all of a sudden I'm at 94, and they're like 95, 94. And I'm like, that's my 95. And then I hear 97, 96, 90. I'm like, oh my God. And I throw the last ball and go, and I'm like, Tim's gonna leave. And he doesn't move, and I get past him, and I'm like, oh my God, I just won. And I don't know how it happened. But it happened. And I'm so happy it did.
You're incredible to keep digging in throughout all of that, because it was over a minute behind that you were. Yeah. When you crossed that line, and I just saw you sitting there quiet, just taking it all in. Yeah. What was going through your mind?
So it's funny, I had a conversation earlier this week. Leading into this, I was watching a lot of the NCAA track and field. And in the men's 110 hurdles, Jacoby Tharp broke the world record. And the announcer wasn't like overly enthusiastic about it. And everybody was bashing him for it. They're like, why wasn't he so loud? And I had this thought that I said, sometimes let the moment just be the moment. Don't announce over it. Don't do anything extra. Don't be too loud. Just let the moment be the moment. And that's what I felt when I finished. I said, I'm just going to sit down. And I'm just going to let the moment be the moment and let it speak for itself and let it just kind of wash over me. And that's what I did. And it felt like the right thing to do. I didn't need to be too loud. I've been loud before, and it doesn't always look good. Sometimes it's good to just be quiet and win and be happy for others and be happy for myself.
I can see one very happy little boy, your son August, who's watching his daddy win the World Championships. Yeah. That holds a whole special dynamic, doesn't it?
Yeah. I remember having a conversation about 3 months before my son was born, where somebody told me, you're going to have to make the decision between being a father and being a world champion. And I remember distinctly saying, I don't believe those two are they're not mutually exclusive. And I didn't ever know that I could make it be true, what I said 3 years ago. But I crossed that line, and that was one thing that went through my head. I was like, damn, Dylan, you proved it right. It's not mutually exclusive. Just to make it all come together. It's hard for me to vocalize. I don't have the composure right now to do it. I'm gonna need time, and I'm gonna need a lot of water, because I gotta go pee.
Doing it for all the hardworking dads out there. Congratulations, enjoy your moment.
Thank you so much, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. I will get to your messages eventually, hopefully. I love you guys. Swooped out.
Dylan Scott in a dramatic fashion that we're seeing here right now, taking the world title. And this is the moment we're like, what happened? What just happened? And I want to say one thing to the haters out there. Let the man be loud. If you don't know Dylan Scott, if you don't know the genuine person behind him, the dedication as a family father, quitting his job to go all in HYROX and everything, stop hate. Let the man be loud if he wants to be loud.
Absolutely, and we've talked a few times tonight about how supportive this community is. Well, Dylan, at the very top of the sport, is so supportive of all the other elite athletes and all the age group athletes as well. He's a great guy, and yeah, let him be as loud as he wants to after that.
But let's look at a World Championship race where the top 8 athletes are within 56 seconds. Where we're seeing second, third, and fourth separated by 1 second per position. This was an incredible race that we've seen here. And on the day where Alex Roncevic, the world record holder, was not able to deliver, others picked up the ball literally at the wall balls, like Charlie Bottrell, like Louis Osler. This was an incredible race. And we've got Hunter McIntyre in 5th, but I say it again, he is the man who made the race, who changed the race here today, who forced the race on the others and dig deep and potentially, like Sebastian, like Hidde, like Alex, maybe go too hard. This has been an exciting race, and more exciting races are coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, tune in for our Women's Pro Doubles, a race at 8:25 p.m. is going to be another fantastic showdown. There's absolutely no doubt. And of course, it's going to be followed up by the men's race afterwards as well. Jane, thank you so much for being in the studio with us today. Greg, thank you very much to our viewers out there. Thank you so much, no matter where in the world. Thank you for being here in Stockholm and Sweden with us today. Enjoy the night, the day, wherever you are, and see you for tomorrow's races. Good night.